Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave over the land of the free, yeah, and the home of the brave.
Outgear is home of the Brave. Welcome to Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania for this afternoon's NFL regular season opener, matching Tampa Bay and Philadelphia. Hi, everybody. I'm Frank Lieber, along with John Unitas. A lot of enthusiasm here, new season and all. A lot of enthusiasm back in Tampa. The folks in Tampa very excited about their young quarterback. He helped upset your team last week.
New quarterback Randy Hepburg came off the bench to play last week in his first NFL start, upset Baltimore. Would like nothing better than duplicate his performance of last week here this afternoon, Frank.
A lot of changes for the Eagles this year. They think they're on the upswing, particularly with the addition of Ron Jaworski and his battery mate, of course, who's been around a while, Harold Carmichael.
Ron Jaworski, of course, coming to Philadelphia by way of Los Angeles. Coming off a good preseason, 40 completions out of 87 attempts for 654 yards, and 13 of those completions went to Harold Carmichael, the 6'8" receiver.
Carmichael has a string going now of 64 consecutive games in which he's caught at least one forward pass. Obviously, Tampa Bay gained a great deal of confidence by that victory over the Baltimore Colts. They are very high for this game and would like to bring back to Tampa this week their first NFL regular season win ever. Been a hard year after going 0-14.
Well, it's tough, and John McKay's looking forward to this one because they have lost 9 openers in a row.
And haven't had that winning season since way back in 1966. Near capacity crowd on hand of around 60,000 fans. We're ready for the opening kickoff under clear skies, temperature around 80 degrees this afternoon and rather humid. As Dave Green, who handles both the place kicking and the punting for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, tees it up. And we're just about ready to get this 1977 NFL regular season underway. The deep man for the Philadelphia Eagles. Dropping back, number 22 on the left of your screen, that's Larry Marshall. And number 31 on the right is Wilbert Montgomery. Montgomery is a rookie out of Abilene Christian who scored 76 touchdowns in his 4-year career, and that is an all-time collegiate record. Here we go, the 1977 NFL season underway. Marshall back to the 10, 15. Larry Marshall cutting upfield to the 25, and he is stopped cold at the 30-yard line. Driven back, charge led by Mike Lemon, number 59. Let's take a look at the Eagles offense as they get set to put the ball into play. Jaworski, as we said, the quarterback starter. Same two running backs who finished the season last year with 100-yard games. The wide receivers, the newcomer there is Keith Krepfle, the tight end who replaces the departed Charlie Young, who's now in Los Angeles. And the Eagles' offensive line. The Polish rifle, Ron Jaworski at the throttle of the Philadelphia Eagles. 1st and 10 with the ball at his 30-yard line. Straight handoff up the middle. Not much fancy there. Tom Sullivan, number 25, taking the handoff. And we'll take a look at the Tampa Bay defense. They play that 3-man front, and these are the 3 guys in front. Leroy Selman missed last week's game, but he's back hale and hearty again. And the 4 linebackers who have very little experience between them. In fact, they have 7 linebackers on their team with only 9 years experience between them. And a lot of youth also in the Tampa Bay secondary. 2nd down, 6. Eagles ball at their 34-yard line. That's Hogan out to the 38-yard line. Hogan was injured a good portion of last year, but he looked like he was going to be a 1,000-yard rusher for a while, contained by Leroy Selman.
Selman's, of course, the brother act from Oklahoma. They did an excellent job last week against the Baltimore Colts, Frank.
Here's the game officials this afternoon, Red Cashin's crew. Third down. Eagles need 2 for the first down. Ball is at their 38-yard line. Jaworski's got him in tight. Smith in motion, the handoff to Sullivan, and he's contained behind the line. And the Bucs slow him at the 35-yard line for a loss of 3. It was Mark Cotney, number 33, who filled it in from the secondary, and the Eagles will be forced to punt.
Excellent play that time by David Lewis, coming in and just stripping everyone back there, Frank, and to stop that play and put the Philadelphia Eagles in a punting situation.
The deep man, Isaac Hagen's on the left of your screen, and the man on the right was Danny Reese, number 46, as Spike Jones prepares to do the punting. Nice kick. Reese at the 23, up to the 25, and stopped as he crosses the 30-yard line. So the Bucs will put it in play. 1st and 10 from their 32-yard line. Stop made by Vince Papali, number 83. And Papali is a demon specialty teams guy. Watch him here, John.
He really loves to get down there just as quick as possible before everything else sets up and get down, force a man back to the inside, keeping control on the outside. We see him right here coming in, getting ready to make the tackle. There he is on the final tackle.
All right, Buccaneers with the ball. 1st and 10 from their 32-yard line. Young man from Minot State. Randy Hedberg handing off to Ricky Bell, and Bell, the number 1 draft choice in the National Football League, across the 35 to the 39 for a substantial gain. We'll take a look at the offense here as we have a second down situation coming up for Tampa Bay. This is their backfield. Ricky Bell in there along with Ed Williams, who's been around several years. The wide receivers, none of them exactly household names around the National Football League. And the Bucs offensive linemen, they're starting 2 new guards today. Both of those guards are from Oakland and have been obtained in the last week or so. 2nd down 3 after a pickup of 7 by Ricky Bell. This time it is Williams. He takes it across the 40, and the Buccaneers have a first down at the 44-yard line. Matty Sistrunk made the stop. You saw them last week, and this ball club looked pretty darn sharp. Here's the Eagles' defensive linemen. Now, they've gone to that 3-man front too, John.
Sistrunk, Lazatich, and Harrison. Lazatich's been around for a while, so is Sistrunk, but they like the 3-man lines because they can put pressure on them. There's great linebackers in it with Bunning and, of course, and Berge and some of the other fellows back there who do a fine job for them.
They've got a couple of rookies in that defensive secondary, too. 1st and 10, Buccaneers from their 44. Ricky Bell trying to get outside, and he is contained behind the line of scrimmage at the 43-yard line. Excellent penetration that time by Randy Logan, the strong safety, number 41, who came up to make the stop. So it'll be 2nd down now, 13, and a passing situation for the first time for Randy Hedberg. And as we go along, we'll tell you a little bit more about this young man. Tampa Bay, prior to camp, went in with 6 quarterbacks, and as recently as, 3-4 weeks ago, he was the 4th stringer.
That's like going into a war and losing all 3 4-star generals, putting a sergeant up front.
Now they've got a lot of confidence in this young man. Great small college player. Here's Hedberg's first pass to Ricky Bell, and Bell gets it up to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. The Eagles played it very well, particularly Bill Berge, number 66, and Pete Lazatich, number 73. That'll set up 3rd down, and still about 10 needed for the first down. Take a look at Berge here, John.
Berge's been around a long time. A great player with the Cincinnati Bengals and now with the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's watch his drop there as he comes all the way from his inside linebacker position to make the tackle on Ricky Bell. Frank Lemaster, number 55, put some pressure on Randy Hedberg that time.
3rd down, a little more than 10 needed for the first down for the Buccaneers at their 43-yard line. Here's the rookie, number 8 draft choice, and he can throw it, and he's going long and just underthrows the wide receiver, number 89, John McKay.
John had his man beaten down there. Randy just did not have the ball up high enough and long enough for him. It was thrown back to the inside just a little, and McKay was not able to get back in there.
Yeah, I'll take it back. It was Morris Owens, the other wide receiver on that side, John, so it's my error. But nevertheless, a punting situation here for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Dave Green comes in to do the punting. Marshall, who is kind of an all-around guy, returns both kickoffs and punt returns, is back there as one of the deep men. And Marshall fading back inside his 10 and fields it at the 5. Back up to the 10-yard line, and that's it. That's normally a no-no. Coaches tell you that if it comes inside the 10, let it bounce. Take your chances of getting it on into the end zone for the touchback. So, no score here in the opening period of play. At Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, we've got 9 minutes and 54 seconds left in the quarter.
Sure is coming. The new Ford Fairmont. A new car designed for today and the years ahead. Fairmont's combined city highway mileage rating is within 2 miles per gallon of a little VW Rabbit. Yet it has almost 90% of the interior room of the Chevrolet Impala and excellent all-around visibility. And Fairmont base sticker prices for 2 doors, 4 doors, and wagons will be surprisingly low. Test drive Fairmont October 7th. Fairmont, the newest, better idea from Ford.
You work in the sky with nothing to hold on to but the wind and the cold steel beam. And it's a very long day until a whistle blows telling you it's Miller time. Time for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer since 1855.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller Beer.
Eagles have the football, 1st and 10 with the nose of the ball just outside their 10-yard line. As the Polish rifle, Ron Jaworski, looks over that defensive alignment. Jaworski's been around several years, but he actually hasn't started that many games. This is only his 10th start in the NFL. That's Hogan. Straight up the middle out to the 13-yard line. It'll be 2nd down 7 as Dave Pear, number 76, made the stop. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience, and any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Philadelphia Eagles and the National Football League is prohibited. 2nd down 7. Eagles at their 13-yard line. Carmichael to the right side. Charlie Smith is split out to the left. He's looking for Carmichael, and he throws it low.
It's a poor throw by Jaworski that time. Carmichael was there. He had a good lane which to throw the ball through, but the ball was low into the ground. Carmichael not being able to come up with a catch.
Here's Carmichael coming off the line.
As you see, the ball's low. Carmichael possibly could have had the football, but he's 6'8". He's got a long way to reach down there, Frank. As you mentioned before, Jaworski has been around for a while. He started 3 games in the NFL and won every one of them. One of those was including a 10-3 victory over the Super Bowl winner Steelers in 1975.
Made several other preseason starts, but those are the only games that he has started in regular season. Of course, he was in the middle of that Rams mess for a long time. Jaworski over the middle, and he finds the tight end. That is Keith Krepley, number 84, for the 1st down. At the 29-yard line, the man who supplanted Charlie Young as the starter, Jarris White making the stop. Big question mark for the Eagles at tight end this year.
Good catch by the tight end coming across the middle. Excellent protection for Jaworski. Number 46 right there. Hits him very, very good, but that was a pretty good surprise to the tight end. He made the catch, got a hit, and did keep hold of the football.
1st and 10. Officials spot the ball at the Eagle 28-yard line. Carmichael to the left side, Smith to the right. Hogan and Sullivan are the running backs. Nice fake to Sullivan, again over the middle, a little bit high and picked off. Picked off by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, number 34, Cedric Brown. And Brown has carried it inside the 25 down to the 23-yard line. The fumble occurred after the whistle. So the Buccaneers get a break. The first turnover of the game will have a 1st down at the 23-yard line of the Philadelphia Eagles.
That ball looked like it just got away from Jaworski and was over top with the head of the receiver. As we're able to see, the interception over the head of the receiver. Poor throw by Jaworski. First turnover in the ball game this afternoon. The first break for the Tampa Buccaneers.
One thing Tampa Bay didn't do bad last year, and that was play pass defense. They were very respectable in that department. So let's see if they can take advantage of this break. Randy Hedberg at the throttle as the Bucs have a 1st down at the 23-yard line. The handoff to Ricky Bell. Bell caught behind the line of scrimmage and spilled for the loss at the 25. Filtering through that time, John Bunting. Number 95 with an assist from Manny Sistrunk, number 79.
Mentioning the defensive secondary of the Buccaneers, last year they had 9 interceptions for the whole season. This preseason they have come up with 10, and they're starting the season off on the right foot by picking off their first one for the NFL season.
Second down, 12 for the Bucs at the Eagle 25-yard line. Ed Williams and Ricky Bell, the setbacks behind the rookie Randy Hedberg. Bell down to the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. Pickup of 7 on that play. Found a nice hole over the left side. Just kind of picked his way through. Carl Hairston, number 78, making the stop. Tampa Bay wound up 2-4 in preseason. They beat Green Bay in addition to beating Baltimore.
Let's take a look at Ricky running this time. He has great power in those legs. As you see him coming across, breaking one tackle. Hairston in on the tackle. Ricky Bell is one of the great runners out of USC.
There's Jaworski on the sidelines looking things over. Isaac Higgins has come into the game at wide receiver, replacing John McKay. Third down and 6. And Hedberg in trouble, going to scramble. And doesn't get enough for the first down. Moves it inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. That's about the original line of scrimmage before Carl Hairston, number 78, wrapped him up.
Hedberg that time looking for the quick out over here on the left side, was not open and elected to run, going straight up the field and trying to keep the ball in between the goalposts for the field goal try.
Green will come on to try the field goal here, which would put Tampa Bay a couple of games ahead of last year. They were shut out in their first 2 regular season games last year. Didn't even score till the third game. This attempt will be from the 25, so that will make it a 35-yard field goal attempt. Long enough, but no good. It is off to the right. So Green misfires. The Eagles get a break, and they take over offensively at the line of scrimmage, which will be the 23-yard line. No score in Philadelphia. We'll be back in a moment.
You're coming in loud and clear. Must be a realistic CB radio.
10-4, good buddies. My new 40-channel realistic. Radio Shack's got it on sale right now for only $79. I saved $60. Best deal I made all year.
That realistic sure is a good brand.
10-4 on that, you can depend on realistic. They've been making them for 16 years.
The sale price 40-channel CB by Realistic. Only at Radio Shack. A Tandy Company.
Sir, we all know Mobil 1 is the oil that saves you gas. Give me another good reason to buy it.
Well, it lasts. And lasts.
How long will Mobil 1 last? We drove it 15,000 miles without an oil change. And after all that, found Mobil 1 still protects as well as new ordinary oil.
It lasts. It lasts.
Mobil 1, the oil that saves you gas, saves you oil changes.
Well, you auto racing fans got a big treat on the CBS Sports Spectacular, the Trenton 150. They got quite a lineup of fine drivers, John.
They have that. Mario Andretti, Tom Steven, Gordon Johncock.
Al Unser and Janet Guthrie also expected to be there next Saturday, 4:30 p.m. on CBS, the Sports Spectacular. First and 10. Eagles operating from their 20-yard line. The handoff is to Tom Sullivan, and Sullivan tries the left side, moves it out to the 24. Richard Wood, number 54, wraps him up. You know, we talked about the youth of Tampa Bay, and they've got to be the youngest team in the league, averaging just 24 years of age. We were figuring it out the other day, and you look at depth, the bench strength, and actually Philadelphia is a younger team than Tampa Bay when you look at the backups only. Second down, 6. Eagles at their 24-yard line. No score, 5:50 left to play in the opening period at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Here's Ron Jaworski. Little out. Hogan to the 27-yard line, bit short of the first down. As they unpeel, a whole host of white shirts in there. Cecil Johnson, number 56, leading the charge. I guess that's what you call your old safety valve, huh?
Well, Jaworski going back to throw that time. Tampa went back into a double zone coverage, a sure passing situation, leaving that little halfback to the outside open, Frank, not wanting them to get anything deep on the outside, which Jaworski likes to go to with Carmichael.
Third down, 2, and we'll listen to Ron Jaworski call the signals from his 28. Charlie Smith in motion. Jaworski back to throw it. He's looking for Smith. Smith at the 40-yard line. Couldn't hold it. Thought he had it for a moment and it got away. He was well covered on the play.
He split those defensive backs, and Jaworski laid the ball in there perfectly, but he was just not able to hold on to the football. Fine throw by Jaworski.
Jarris White, number 45, was back there covering. And once again, the Eagles, coached by Dick Vermeil. Vermeil, by the way, was the quarterback coach with the Rams when Ron Jaworski came up as a rookie. So they're not exactly strangers. Hagens is deep. On the left of your screen, number 81, and number 46 is Danny Reese, anticipating the punt. Off the toe here of Spike Jones. His first kick was for 41 yards. This one will be a little bit shorter. Bounces at the 45, takes a Tampa bounce, and will be down at the Buccaneers 47. 4 minutes, 50 seconds left to play in the opening period at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. No score. The Buccaneers nothing and the Eagles nothing.
This is one of the highest telephone microwave stations in America, located in the Colorado Rockies, carrying your voices, data, and TV across the country. Stations like this are operating at near capacity, and the cost of building another one like this could reach well over $1 million. So instead of building more of them, Bell Laboratories and Western Electric have made many improvements which save millions of dollars. For example, this special triode helps one station do the work of 3. Even better, it costs less than $50. And we're not just using it here, but in over 2,000 stations across the country.
The Bell system. People using technology to help keep down costs and improve service. Keeping your phone system the best in the world.
Well, we're getting warmed up today. We'll really get into high gear next week. This is the lineup of regional games. That Bear Cardinal affair should be a pretty good one, particularly.
New Orleans versus Detroit, and of course the Atlanta versus the Washingtons.
Giants are Dallas, and the Eagles travel to Los Angeles next week. Tampa Bay, by the way, will open its season next Saturday night at home. It's home season against Minnesota. Here's Ricky Bell getting outside and picking up some yardage as he crosses the 50-yard line and is torn down by Bill Berge in the neighborhood of the 46-yard line of the Philadelphia Eagles. Tampa Bay's had pretty good field position so far, John.
Good field position. They're moving the ball. One thing that both teams are doing, they're playing rather conservative as far as their play calling is concerned, running the ball on first and second down, and then getting into a passing situation, having to throw.
Here's one that may surprise you a little bit. First period score, Kansas City leading on the basis of a 1-yard run by MacArthur Lane. The Patriots still minus those 2 big linemen. That's got to make a big difference.
Well, that sure hurts. Both those fellows, all pros, and not in camp as yet.
Second down 5. Ricky Bell right over the middle to the left and cutting back to the right, and he'll be close for a first down at the 44-yard line of the Eagles. So Bell has been the workhorse for the Buccaneers as expected. They're going to make him work for that $1 million contract, looks like. He was a leading rusher in preseason, I noticed.
Yes, he was. Also the leading pass receiver for the Bucs. Hedberg might be interesting to note that on the first touchdown pass he threw 2 weeks ago was to Isaac Higgins for 66 yards, Frank.
Third down. Bucs need a yard for the first down. They've got 2 tight ends in there. Ball is at the Eagle 44, and they give it to Ricky Bell, and Ricky has it. First down for the Buccaneers at the 41-yard line. These 2 new guards may help. Randy Logan, number 41, making the stop. That's Bill Nelson. Remember Bill, of course, great quarterback with the Browns, and back before that with the Steelers. He's the quarterback coach. He's the guy who sends in the plays, and they use a hand system of signals.
I talked to Bill last week against Baltimore, and he liked this young quarterback that he has. So he's strong, got a good strong arm, and he takes punishment very well.
He is a good man, good coach. Ball spotted at the 42 of the Eagles. First down, we get a whistle prior to the snap. Let's see what that's all about. The 30-second clock has not run down. There's 8 seconds showing on the clock. We have not had a penalty in the game so far, and we get illegal procedure. The preliminary indication against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And so we'll have our first walk-off of the game, which will move the ball back to the 47-yard line. Red Cashin facing off 5 yards. And Red will tell us who it was against.
False start, number 62, Tampa.
Well, that's one of those new guards, Jeff Winans. Here's another first period score for you. Browns and the Bengals in their great interstate match, and Cleveland's on the scoreboard first.
Cleveland 3, Cincinnati nothing, first quarter.
No score in our game. First down, 15 for the Buccaneers with the ball at the Eagle 47. We got 3 minutes, 25 seconds left to play in the opening period, and this time the call goes to Ed Williams. Speaking of Cincinnati, Ed spent a couple of years with the Bengals before he was picked up on waivers last year by Tampa Bay, and a pretty strong running back.
Very strong. I was talking to Bruce Laird last week after the ball game with Tampa, and Bruce said that very strong, his very strong legs, that tackling him is like hitting a tank out there. Just about pulls your fingers right out of joints trying to hold on to him.
Made a couple of yards, make it second down, 13 with the nose of the ball just inside the Eagle 45-yard line. McKay is wide to the left side. Owens in the slot inside of him. Randy Hedberg behind good protection. Boy, he's got a lot of time back there, and he had a man wide open. That was the tight end, Jack Novak. And Novak took his eyes off it and dropped. He's got to be a little sick.
As you see a good look at Billy Nelson. He's not too happy about it, but those things do happen. Novak just took his eyes off the football. Otherwise, that would have been a long gainer.
Novak immediately comes out of the game. Whether or not that's related or not, I don't know, but I sure wouldn't want to come out of the game at that point. Well, he comes right back into the huddle. Looks like Nelson is starting to send in plays using players today, more so than the hand signals that they've been going with in the past. Tampa Bay doing an awful lot of shuffling.
Might also be noted that Hedberg that time had excellent protection back there, Frank. He did a real fine job standing back there waiting to get hit. He was able to get the football off as the Novak dropped it.
Some people say the tuner in a color TV is always going to cause a lot of problems. I say, bunk. I helped design Zenith's electronic video guard tuner.
Ordinary mechanical tuners have contact points inside that can go bad. You can get snow, flashing, or worse. But Zenith's electronic video guard tuner has no contact points, no moving parts inside. It's designed to keep your picture looking good.
At Zenith, the quality goes in before the name goes on.
Europe's most successful new car in history comes to America. Introducing Fiesta, imported from Germany by Ford. Fiesta. Now there's a car that combines dramatic performance with excellent gasoline economy. Fiesta, Europe's most successful new car in history. Test drive one at your authorized Ford dealer now.
We'll keep up with all the scores for you this afternoon. Here's another Eastern Division score. The Giants have jumped out top of the Redskins in the first period by a score of 7-0.
George Martin had a 30-yard touchdown run on interception of a Billy Kilmer pass.
All right, third down, 13. Penalty markers down, and Hedberg running out of the pocket. He's at the 50, 45, and will go out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Short of the first down, there's an Eagle who is shaken up on the play. And as we mentioned, there was also a marker down. Randy Hedberg. Well, they got buttons all over Tampa. They're popping up now saying, why not Minot? That's where he played ball at Minot State, little school in North Dakota, just 21 students. He won 12 letters there. And he played his college football in on a field that had 3,000 capacity. So it's a little different today.
Well, also those students there, most of them were women, Frank, which is not a bad thing to do, I guess.
I would say he made a good pick then in that case. Rams and the Falcons, and Joe Namath has paid his first dividend for the Los Angeles Rams as he has hit Harold Jackson with a 27-yard touchdown pass. And L.A. leads it by a score of 6-0. And apparently they missed the extra point. The injured player is Lem Burnham, number 67, who is being attended to.
Offsides, Philadelphia.
That was the marker we talked to you about a moment ago. So it'll be third down when play is back in, and the Buccaneers will need 7 for the first down, and the ball will be spotted at the 39-yard line. So they get a break there.
So far, the offensive line of the Bucs has taken the game to the defensive line of the Philadelphia team. They moved them off the ball, Frank, which is quite indicative of the type of runners Ricky Bell and Williams are. They're able to pick up some real fine yardage on the last 2 drives.
Here's Burnham. Burnham is a Marine Vietnam veteran and a 29-year-old first-year man. That man is nearing the completion of his master's degree in psychology and regarded as a good pass rusher. Philadelphia very big with these 29 and 30-year-old rookies. They had Papali last year, who was 30 years old when he started. Here's an update for you on Kansas City and New England and the Chiefs. You know, a lot of people talking about the Patriots for the Super Bowl, and look at this.
Chiefs 14, New England nothing. It certainly has hurt New England for those 2 offensive men to be walking out of the field, off the camp.
2:28 left to play. First period, no score. 3rd and 7 from the 39. Hedberg under severe pressure, and he is dragged down at the 39-yard line in his own end of the field. That is a monstrous loss. That's a 22-yard setback for the Buccaneers. Watch the charge.
Manny Sistrunk, 79, and John Bunting, 95, coming in to force Hedberg out of the pocket. There you see Bunting and Sistrunk coming from the weak side. Of course, you like to tell your quarterbacks to get up inside, get down, get rid of the football, if possible, anytime that happens.
All right, the deep man, Martin Mitchell at the top on the right side. Low snap, but Green gets it away. And Larry Marshall, the short man, fields it at the 30, 35, and up to the 41-yard line. That's about as far as the Eagles have gotten in the entire game. Dan Ryzek making the stop, number 51 for Tampa Bay. Philadelphia 1st and 10 at its 41-yard line. No score with 1:57 left to play. Opening period.
Green averaged 41 yards per try during the preseason.
Ron Jaworski still has Sullivan and Hogan behind him. This is Sullivan over the left side and out to the 44-yard line for a pickup of 3. We might pass along the players that these 2 clubs inactivated today. The Eagles have inactivated quarterback John Walton and wide receiver Larry Severs, who was with the Buccaneers until a couple of weeks ago. And the Bucs' 2 inactive players are Gary Huff, the quarterback, and linebacker Rick Bones. Second down. 6 needed for the first down. Eagles at their 44. Carmichael to the right side. Smith to the left. Again, it's Sullivan. This time to the 47-yard line. He's still a little bit better than 2 yards shy of the first down to Cecil Johnson. Wraps him up.
Tampa Bay's defense playing extremely well. Let's take a look at it from the end zone camera as we come off. See the run and see the good play by the defense. They played that way all last week against the Baltimore Colts, and Lydell Mitchell said it was one of the toughest games he ever played. And that was last week against the Bucs.
Third down. 3 needed for the first down. Eagles at their 47. Nothing fancy that time. Sticking with the straight handoff. It is Sullivan, and it looks like he may be short. And the offense is getting a bit of the Philadelphia raspberry from some of the fans. They're a little bit conservative.
Frank, they're going to have to mix it up on throwing first down a little bit more than what they have been doing. In fact, they've been all running up until this time. Both teams, with the exception, of course, twice with Hedberg when he was chased back there for that long loss. Now it puts Philadelphia, of course, in the kicking position. And with this guy, with Spike Jones sitting back there, he could put this one out on about the 1 or 2 yard line. I've seen him do that before.
The reason he's waving because he wanted the period to end. Perhaps he felt he had a slight advantage as the teams will change positions now for the start of the second period of play. Very slight wind blowing at the present time. No score.
Now try and forget the 10th largest life insurance company in America, Lincoln National Life. We're easy to remember.
What are you doing, cookie face?
I'm checking the air pressure in my Goodrich radials, Snuggle Bunny.
At midnight? On our honeymoon?
We've got a long drive to Niagara Falls tomorrow. If we don't have the right amount of air in our tires, it could be unsafe. And my Goodrich dealer told me the tires would last longer.
Goodrich? You should have married that Goodrich blimp!
Tires you can trust. B.F. Goodrich. The other guys.
But, honey...
What?
Goodrich doesn't have a blimp.
Port of call, Caribbean. The Navy. See your local recruiter or call toll-free. It's not just a job, it's an adventure.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League. Frank Lieber along with John Unitas. Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. 4th down and a yard for the Philadelphia Eagles at their 49. Spike Jones back to do the punting, and it's a fake. And the Eagles pick up the first down. That's Frank LeMaster, a linebacker, is down to the 30 and run out of bounds at the 22-yard line.
I'll tell you, Frank, with the moves like LeMaster had, he ought to be playing back in the backfield.
So the Eagles pull off the fake on 4th down 1. That wasn't a bad percentage play, really. Watch his moves here, huh?
Let's watch LeMaster going downfield with moves like a halfback. Right in here, oh, there's a great move by LeMaster. Some good blocking downfield. Master picks up the first down, puts Philadelphia in good scoring position on the 21-yard line.
Pick up of 30 yards on a play and a first down for the Eagles at the Buccaneers 21. Jaworski, nice fake to Sullivan, floats it out to Krepfle. The tight end loses the ball in the end zone, and it's recovered by the Bucs, and that'll be a touchback. That will be a touchback, and the Buccaneers will take over at the 20-yard line. It was Jarris White, number 45, who recovered the ball. So the Buccaneers stave off that threat by the Philadelphia Eagles, and will have it 1st and 10 on their 20 when we get back to play.
Cold night, Bob. Did you put in the Prestone antifreeze?
Prestone. Who needs Prestone?
Prestone. You need Prestone.
If your antifreeze is worn out or you don't have enough, you could be in trouble. So put in a fresh fill of Prestone, too, to prevent corrosion and freeze-ups.
Prestone! We need Prestone!
Prestone. You need Prestone. Are you still chained to? Gotcha! The rechargeable Norelco rotary razor lets you walk away, free from nicks and cuts. Its 36 surgical steel rotary razor blades are safely protected inside 3 floating heads to give you a comfortable shave that's razor close, razor smooth, for up to 3 weeks on a single charge. The rechargeable Norelco rotary razor. It lets you walk away from gotcha.
Sometimes you feel like it just isn't your day, John.
It happens that way. Jaworski on a little play action pass to Krepfle right there. Gets hit immediately, and Jarris White, ever alert, picks up the ball, recovering for the Buccaneers. 1st and 10, Buccaneers on the 20.
Credit Mark Cotney and Cedric Brown with the big hit there that jarred the ball loose. That's Anthony Davis, who has just come into the game, and Davis is tripped up back at the 17-yard line. John Outlaw coming through from the secondary along with Berge.
It was a bad move by Davis. Williams was blocking his man to the outside. He should have been back up the inside as we look and see it on from our camera there.
Now to see now if the Buccaneers have made some changes here in the second period, which I believe they have. Here's an update on Kansas City, New England. The Patriots are on the scoreboard. They're going to score a lot of points in that game. 2nd down, 13. AD to about the 18-yard line. He got about a yard back of the loss. Pete Lazatich and Carl Hairston making the stop. Jimmy DuBose is back in the lineup now at a running back position. 2nd-round draft choice out of Florida last year. Third down. Buccaneers need 12 for the first down. Ball is at their 18-yard line. Owens wide to the right side. John McKay is split to the left. And the penalty markers go flying.
Well, mix up on the cadence down there. One of the offensive guards thought it went on one, and the rest of the team thought it went on two.
Illegal procedure against the Buccaneers will cost them 5. That's the second time this afternoon they've been whistled out. Buccaneers, by the way, hope to have Gary Huff ready to play against Minnesota next Saturday night. Would you give him some experience? Of course, if Hedberg has a good outing today, I imagine Coach John McKay have a tough decision to make.
False start, number 62, Tampa.
Jeff Winans, who was guilty of the first illegal procedure penalty a little bit while ago, got flagged down again. Third down, 18. Hedberg back to his 2-yard line and goes down in the end zone. Incomplete. Of course, some of the fans would like to see the safety call there, or not the safety, but intentional grounding. Carl Hairston, number 78, really rolling through there, along with Manny Sistrunk, applying the pressure on Hedberg. And now the Buccaneers will be punting out of their end zone.
Let's take a look at Harrison coming in there, putting some fine pressure, throwing his man to the side, coming back to the inside. Hedberg did just get the football away. It probably could have been called intentional grounding, but it wasn't.
Green has kicked twice for a 42.5-yard average. Standing 2 yards deep. Mitchell is deep along with Marshall. Fine punt, backing Marshall all the way back to his 35. Marshall 40, 45, going for the sideline, and ripped out of bounds in front of the Buccaneers bench at the 49-yard line. Down to Nafziger. Reserve tight end off the specialty team, making the stop, so the Buccaneers will get the ball, put it in play at midfield. Still no score early in the second period.
Hey, Mom!
Oh, hiya, Sonny.
Stop sitting around, Mom. Let's take a ride in my new Ford pickup.
All right, let me drive. Oh, I can handle it.
This is the one that's built tough with Ford's exclusive twin I-beam suspension and a new 4-speed overdrive option. And extensive rust-fighting materials on underbody parts.
What'd you think, Mom?
You may think I'm off my rocker. This Ford is tough.
Of all Ford trucks registered over the last 12 years, 93 out of 100 are still on the job.
Panasonic invites you to take a picture of a voice with a Panasonic cassette tape recorder.
Things was a lot different than it is now.
All with built-in mics. Some with built-in radios. There are pocket models.
Should last another 50 years.
And even some that record in stereo.
Say something. Come on, speak something.
So take a picture of a voice with Panasonic.
Say something, bark.
A woman doctor is assaulted by her patient, but she won't call in the police. That's what baffles Rafferty. Patrick McGowan stars as Rafferty tomorrow night.
Officials mark it at the 47-yard line in Philadelphia's end of the field. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Hogan and Sullivan, the setbacks behind Jaworski, the second man. Sullivan takes the handoff, not quite to midfield. Pickup of 2 and Big Dave Pear. Number 76 closes the door for Tampa Bay.
Tommy Sullivan's big effort last year was 121 yards against Seattle.
That was in the last game of the regular season when they got 100-yard games out of both Sullivan and Hogan. Hogan wound up the leading rusher with 561 yards, even though he missed 3 or 4 games. 2nd down, 8. Jaworski in trouble behind the line, out to the 50, 45, and out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Richard Wood, number 54, the former USC linebacker, ran him out of bounds. He is very close for a first down at that point.
Council Ruloff, number 78, was almost in the backfield before Jaworski was, forced him out of the pocket. Made enough to pick up the first down.
That reminds me of you in your prime, those moves.
Frank, I look like a runaway camel going downfield without the running.
Game has changed a little bit, I guess. 41-yard line. Spot of the ball. Tampa Bay's end of the field. First down, Philadelphia. Jaworski, sideline throw to the big man, Harold Carmichael, who makes the grab at the 33. So among other things, Carmichael's streak is intact. He's now caught at least one pass in 65 consecutive games. That's over 5 seasons.
Carmichael on a quick out pattern. Jaworski just steps back, fires it up. It's pretty hard to overthrow a man who's 6'8" out there. Washington making the tackle.
That takes it down to the 34-yard line of the Buccaneers. Second down, 3. Carmichael to the left side. Charles Smith is flanked to the right. Sullivan. Nice tackle at the line of scrimmage. Caught very nicely by Council Rudolph. Number 78 for virtually no gain on the play. Council is one of Abe Gibron's pet projects.
He's doing a fine job for him. David Lewis, number 57, played that play very well, keeping everything contained to the inside. Council Rudolph's coming off and making the tackle.
Jaworski is 4 out of 7 so far for 44 yards. He's had at least one dropped on him. Third down. Eagles need 3 for the first down. Now the Eagles send in their plays from the sidelines using signals. And they want a timeout to talk about this one. Could be a big play coming up on 3rd and 3 from the Tampa Bay 34-yard line. No score in the game with 9 minutes and 38 seconds left to play in the first half as Jaworski heads to the sideline for a word with his head coach, Dick Vermeil. So a little strategy conference. We'll tell you once again, the CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday will be a real treat for you auto racing fans. The Trenton 150, and those are the Indy type cars, aren't they?
Yes, they will be very interesting because you have Mario Andretti, Tom Sneva, Gordon Johncock out there racing, and those fellows can push the pedal to the floor.
Absolutely. Sneva has already clinched the 1977 USAC driving title. Al Unser is entered. Janet Guthrie will also be on hand. You can see it live next Saturday afternoon on the CBS Sports Spectacular, 4:30 Eastern Time. Warm afternoon down in the field, and up here as well, as a matter of fact. Temperatures in the 80s and high humidity count. It's clouded up just a wee bit, but still a bright cloudiness. No threat of rain. Eagles coming off a 4-10 season trying to improve their lot, as of course are the Buccaneers, who became the first team in the history of the National Football League to lose all of their games in 1976. Third down, 3 from the 34 of Tampa Bay. Jaworski, protection is good, just floats it out there for Krippley, and Krippley hangs on to the ball, although he nearly has his head taken off by Mark Cotney, number 33. That time he was going to make sure he had that one.
I thought Mark Cockney was going for the interception. That time Krippley just went down the middle of the double zone, and Jaworski just hung the ball over top of the linebacker, as we see Krippley making the catch and Courtney making the tackle.
So the Eagles have a first down at the 6-yard line of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Eagles this year in preseason won 3 of their first 4 games. They lost to the Steelers and the Packers. Philadelphia threatening. Sullivan from the 6, dips back inside, gets to the 5. Pickup of 1 yard. Cockney coming from underneath, doing a good job. Salmon also in there.
Sullivan on the handoff. As you see, Courtney coming in and making the tackle right there. Fine play by Courtney, number 33. Down here is where the ground gets hard to come by, Frank. Inside that 5-yard line, not much room to work in, and the linemen really have to get down and get with it.
Sullivan has rushed 9 times for 16 yards. Hogan twice for 7. Their leading ground gainer is LeMaster. Maybe they ought to put him back in there.
Krippley's caught 3 for 60 yards.
Second down, goal to go from the 5. Trying to climb the mountain is Tom Sullivan, and he gets it down to the 3. It's just a whole new game, isn't it, when you get inside that 10-yard line?
Brand new offense. You have to really get thinking about the offense, what you're going to do down there where it's tight. You have very little room which to work with as far as passing the football is concerned. And the line, the offense and defense, will get a little tighter.
Couple of additions to the Philadelphia lineup. Donnie Green comes in at tackle, number 74, and Richard Osbert comes in as, I think, a second tight end here. It'll be third down, goal to go from the 3. We've got a marker down. And this is going to go against Philadelphia. 5 yards moves him back to the 8. And we'll get it from the referee, Red Cashin.
Number 74 failed to report before he came in the huddle.
Well, that happens sometimes. You get a new player in there, and that's Donnie Green, former starter at Buffalo, who came over during preseason.
I don't believe I've heard that one called in 5 or 6 years, but you have to report. It's one of the rules and regulations, something that the coaches have to be advised of, and the players have to be advised of before they go in.
Oh, that'll kill you when you get down this close. Instead of third down and goal to go from the 3, it'll now be third down and goal to go from the 8-yard line. And still, there appears to be some confusion out there. Eagle players waving toward the bench. Waving for somebody to come in. Green, who came in, went back off. Well, get out the rule book. Red Cashin, the referee, having to explain the situation to Dick Vermeil, the head coach of the Eagles. All right, Green's going back in now. There's some question as to whether or not he has to stay in the game for at least one play after he reports.
You're right about that, Frank. It's just like a man bringing a play, and he can't bring it in and then take off and go back out. He has to stay in for that play.
7 minutes, 33 seconds left to play in the first half. Third down, goal to go. Philadelphia at the Tampa Bay 8-yard line. Hogan and Sullivan are the setbacks. Smith and Carmichael, the wide receivers. That's Krepley, the tight end, in motion. Jaworski in trouble, floats it out, and he's got Sullivan by himself for the touchdown. He just waited, and all of a sudden Sullivan found himself 10 yards away from everybody. You don't think he kind of shot-putted that thing?
That was a little broken play. Jaworski goes back looking to the inside, Carmichael, then decides to run. As you see, the linebacker, number 56 of the Buccaneers, comes off the play, Cecil Johnson, to get Jaworski, and of course Sullivan continues to run his pattern. Jaworski just dumping it, as you said, shot-putting it over top of the head of the linebacker.
So the Eagles have scored with 7:26 left to play in the first half on the 8-yard touchdown pass, and Horst Muhlman is their place kicker. It's good. The Philadelphia Eagles lead the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, scoring their first touchdown of the season. It's 7-0 midway in the second period.
When you're a lifeguard, you practice all you can, because saving a few seconds may save a few lives. But now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find. America's quality beer, Miller High Life.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Beer.
To make it in this business, you got to stay one step ahead of everybody else. So I've got something nobody else has. Sunoco's penny pinching pump. It could save you money on quality gas, like my 190, the gas that's made to sell below my regular. And most cars that run on regular can use it. Hey, if I don't want you to pass me by, I got to give you a price you can't pass up. Sunoco's penny pinching pump can fill up your tank for less. That's my way of being very friendly.
Philadelphia leading 7-0, and Muhlman getting ready to kick off. One of the fine place kickers in the National Football League. He was 10 out of 10 last year inside the 40-yard line in field goal attempts. Tampa Bay will be going with Anthony Davis. Number 28 is one of the deep men, coupled with Isaac Higgins, number 81. This one coming down to A.D. at the 2-yard line. Back to the 10, 15. And across the 22 where he stopped. You know, Davis, tackle, by the way, made by Franklin. Davis, in his collegiate career at USC, returned 6 kickoffs for touchdowns, which is an NCAA record. He had 2 in that one game, I remember, against Notre Dame.
He was beautiful to watch. All those backs coming out of USC seem to have that explosive power. Davis, Simpson, Bell.
Buccaneers 1st and 10 at their 21-yard line. Need to get some offense going. Owens in motion. The give is to Williams, who's back in there and running back. Williams out to the 23 for a pickup of a couple of yards. 2nd and 8. Carl Hairston, number 78. Give you the statistics here in the Eagles scoring drive. 52 yards, and of course, guided very expertly by Ron Jaworski.
Touchdown play wasn't very pretty, but it was effective.
Oh, absolutely. Ricky Bell on the carry, and Ricky is hit hard at the line of scrimmage. Tom Sullivan on the receiving end of that touchdown pass a moment ago from Ron Jaworski. 3rd down 7.
Tommy Sullivan was a 15th round draft pick by the Eagles in '72. 52 running backs were selected before he was. There's only 6 of them still remain in the game.
One problem with running backs, you don't stay around too long.
Constant pounding.
Hedberg going for the sideline throw, and it is almost picked off. Almost intercepted by John Outlaw. Hedberg has 1 completion so far in 5 pass attempts for a total of 2 yards.
Frank, they're waiting too long to throw the football as far as the Buccaneers are concerned. They're waiting till 3rd down to throw it, and they're throwing into real tough coverage back there with 8 people back in the secondary, only 3 putting a rush on. I believe that they're going to have to go to the throwing the football on 1st and 2nd down and mix it up a little more than what they are now.
Green punting. Martin Mitchell is deep, along with Larry Marshall. Marshall at the 45, hit at the 47-yard line. Belled it pretty good that time by number 56, Cecil Johnson. So the Eagles will put it in play near midfield. We'll remind you once again that we've got a great lineup of regional games next Sunday. Depending on where you happen to be, you'll be seeing one of these games. Redskins will be down in Atlanta. Giants will be in Dallas. And these Philadelphia Eagles travel to Los Angeles to take on the Rams. That's next Sunday afternoon on CBS, preceded, of course, by the NFL Today. Sullivan about the line of scrimmage, running into Johnson. I'll tell you, Johnson's made himself known.
He has, and Cotney is up there as well, turning the play back to the inside, which, of course, allowed Johnson to make the tackle.
He's one of those very active linebackers. He was a free agent who saw a little bit of action from the Steelers before coming to Tampa Bay. Most teams, you talk about what college a guy went to. With an expansion team, you talk about what pro team he played for last. Because a good many of them are still left from the veterans draft. Here's Jaworski under pressure and hugged to the earth back at the 28-yard line by Leroy Selman, number 63. There's a guy makes a difference in the pass rush of Tampa Bay. They had something like 20 sacks, but he was through for the season midway of last year, and they dropped way down after that. Jaworski's hurting a little bit.
Let's watch Selman on the pass rush as he gets rid of his man, comes through, picks Jaworski up, and just treats him a little rudely at this point. And he said, "Ouch, I'm here, you're there."
And you've been there, right?
That's right. And it doesn't feel good.
Jaworski's backup, by the way, is the veteran Roman Gabriel. And Gabe is on the verge of reaching a mark that I think you've surpassed. 30,000 passing yards. He needs 571 yards to get to the 30,000 mark.
It looks like he's going to be coming in here, at least warming up shortly, because Jaworski is walking off the field. I believe that tackle hurt his rib a little bit. He had the shoulder pad up underneath his arm. There comes Abe now. Listen to the Boo Birds.
You know, Philadelphia's tried to build, unlike a lot of the teams who build through the draft, they went the Redskin route of trying to build through trades, and consequently, their draft has been non-existent for the past several years. They didn't have a pick this year until the 5th round. And they're minus their first and second picks next year. Third down, long yardage needed for the first down, and Gabriel hits Vince Papale at midfield. That is not enough for the first down. Vince Papale, number 83, the second-year wide receiver.
Take a look at Gabriel on his first shot at playing this afternoon. A fake draw to the halfback to try to hold up a linebacker. Going back, finding Papale, who just goes down and makes a little turn inside. Not enough for the first down. It'll be 4th down, and Philadelphia must turn the ball over to the Buccaneers.
4th and 7 from this point. They faked last time. Of course, not this time. Spike Jones angling toward Higgins. Higgins at the 15-yard line gets away from one man. Higgins trying to get out of the way of one of his own blockers. Is pinned at the 15-yard line. So the Buccaneers will take it from there. Want to remind you again about the big auto race on the CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday afternoon, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You'll see the Trenton 150, Indy-type cars, and some of the big names in racing. The biggest names will be on hand, including Mario Andretti and Gordon Johncock, Tom Sneva. Gordon's actually listed as a possible starter. He won that event last year. Turned out to be a 200-miler, but was shortened due to rain. Jaworski loosening up on the sideline, so he may be back in there. Buccaneers 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. The handoff to Ricky Bell. And Bell gets maybe a yard. Eagle defense has been tough.
Buccaneers playing very conservative so far. They have not thrown the ball as many times as they would probably like to have thrown it, but Coach Nelson decides to stay with the running game and try to get that started.
Art Toms made the stop. He's been the workhorse for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this afternoon. Still in the first half of play, he's carried 10 times for a total of 24 yards. It's the bulk of the Tampa Bay ground game. 3rd down, 7.
Art Toms in on a tackle last time. Playing very well. If you look around this league, you see a lot of Oakland players on all these other teams, Frank.
Bucks go with 3 wide receivers on 3rd down, 7. Hedberg looking for his second pass completion for Owens, and Owens made the grab and went out of bounds. Or did he?
All the official was over there. He's saying it's no good. It was a fine throw by Hedberg.
It was close, but apparently he stepped out of bounds as he pulled in the ball.
Let's see if we can't get a closer look at Owens this time. The ball was thrown perfectly. Well, it looked like his one foot's on that out-of-bounds marker over there, Frank. The official was right on top of it, as they usually are. Fine call.
4th down, 7. We've got 2 minutes and 35 seconds left to play in the first half. Bucks are backed up to their 19, and Dave Green will punt it away. Line drive type kick. This is Mitchell. Matt Mitchell fumbling. Loose football. Who's got it at the 32-yard line? A mad scramble for it. Anybody's ball. And the Eagles get a break as they recover at their 35-yard line. Looked like Mitchell didn't want to handle that thing at all, like it was a hot potato.
Larry Mucker, number 87, was down there to force the fumble. He came back for it and kicked it himself. That ball will take some funny bounces out there.
Well, let's see. We'll look at it again. They're going to give it to Tampa, I think. A little hard to see. The ball is loose and everybody is in there, but they're going to award the ball to Tampa Bay. First they indicated Philadelphia's ball, and now they say it's Tampa Bay's ball. So the Bucks have it with a first down at the 35-yard line. And Hedberg with the quick out to number 81, Isaac Higgins, who can fly. And Higgins rolls on down inside the 30-yard line before being shoved out of bounds by Frank LeMaster. Higgins is a speedster, especially prolific at kick returns.
26-yard average in preseason on kick returns.
He led the National Football Conference in kickoff return average. Picked up 8 on that play. Second down 2 for the Bucs at the 23-yard line. As Tampa Bay goes for the equalizer. The give is to Williams, and Williams driving hard. Moving down to the 25, and he'll be close for that first down. Frank LeMaster making the tackle on him. Eagles are optimistic about this year. They seem to think, as we run down to the 2-minute warning, that they could win as many as 7 or 8 games. I don't think anybody's got any Super Bowl delusions in Philadelphia, but they look to be vastly improved. Time out on the field. We'll be back in just a moment.
Sears National Automotive Sale. Sears brings back 73 prices again on our best-selling steel-belted radio with a tough roads heritage. As low as $39.88. On sale now. If your car has over 20,000 miles on it, now's the time to drive into Sears for a free shock absorber check. While Sears heavy-duty shocks are on sale for just $4.99 each. You save over 35% at Sears.
I mean, it was really a good movie.
It was good, wasn't it?
Oh, honey, look, some poor guy left his lights on.
Larry.
Is he going to be in trouble?
Larry.
Boy, am I glad it isn't me.
Larry, it is you.
It is me. Oh.
The Die Hard has extra power to start your car when most batteries won't. Starting soon in your neighborhood. Sold only at Sears.
Frank Lieber along with John Unitas at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. NFL regular season opener, Tampa Bay and Philadelphia. And the Bucs trail by a score of 7-0, but they're threatening now as they have a first down at the 24-yard line of the Eagles. Owens is wide to the right side. McKay is split to the left. That's Morris Owens in motion, and Hedberg back to throw it. Big rush, gets it out, and wide open is Williams, but he can't control his momentum there. It goes out of bounds at about the 16-yard line after picking up 7 yards.
Williams would like to have had that ball a little earlier so he could have turned upfield. Just a little play action. As you see, getting the football out to Williams, his momentum just takes him outside. He's not able to turn up the field. Otherwise, he could have been down about the 6 or 7 yard line.
Well, that's 2 pass completions in a row now for Hedberg, who is 3 out of 8 for 18 yards. The ball is marked just inside the 17-yard line of the Philadelphia Eagles. It is second down, and a long 2 needed for the first down. Owens to the right side, McKay to the left, Ricky Bell. And Williams the setbacks, and it's Ricky Bell down to the 10, loses the ball. Anybody's ball at that particular point, and who got it? Eagles recover. Looked like Carl Hairston, number 78, made the recovery. Bell reaching the 10-yard line. The ball squirting backwards, and watch the wild chase for it.
He takes a real good shot right in here as you see the ball come out. Bell is not able to hold on it, and let's just watch now who's going to come up with it.
Bell made a great effort to get back to it. Couldn't quite do it. Hairston, number 78 there, wound up with the football. And so the Eagles thwart that drive. Buccaneers really stopped themselves with the fumble. Philadelphia first and 10 at their 22. And Jaworski is back in there at quarterback. So he missed just just a couple of plays.
Looks like they're going to play it conservative, Frank. Not going to worry about the 2-minute offense. Just run the clock out and be happy to go in the halftime with a 7-0 lead.
Second down. Ball at the 22-yard line. Second and 9. Hogan. Great balance. Almost to the 40-yard line. Leroy Selman in pursuit made the play. Clock continues to run. And now they're going to stop it with 52 seconds.
Mike Hogan, who was the first rookie to lead the Eagles in rushing since Billy Barnes did it in 57. Let's take a look at him. Good balance, going to the outside and then coming off that tackle, keeping his balance and going downfield.
Hogan was not a high draft choice last year. He was quite a surprise.
Another look at the play. As we watch Hogan maintain some good balance out there, good leg drive. Mike Hogan, who gained 561 yards last season, was the top on the ball club.
Eagles calling the timeout here as they're now in position where a couple of passes might get them in position to try a field goal prior to the end of the half. You know, we talked about the tight end, Krepfle, number 84, you see there in the huddle. He broke a bone in his hand in preseason and never missed a game, I understand.
Well, that's kind of tough to catch the ball with one hand, but if anyone can do it, he can.
If he comes through for him, then that makes the deal involving Jaworski really a great deal for Philadelphia.
Really fine because Charlie Young, I don't know if they ever signed Charlie Young at L.A. yet, have they?
I think they did, yeah. They finally did just before, a couple weeks before the season started. 1st and 10. Eagles from their 38-yard line, and Jaworski to Carmichael. And a beautifully timed hit, that time by number 45, Jarris White, who rocked Carmichael and got there just as the instant the ball did. Thing popped up just like a cork out of a bottle.
Jarris White did hit him very hard. I think Carmichael felt he should have had that football. I know that Jaworski did. He's kind of upset about it. But those defensive backs are taught to strip the ball away from the receiver whenever they can.
2nd down, 10 for the Eagles at their 38. Jaworski under pressure. Penalty marker down as he hits Krepfle over the middle at the 45-yard line for a pickup of 7 yards. Richard Wood, number 54, making the stop. There's the time remaining in the first half. And we had a marker down. Dropped at the line of scrimmage, which might indicate holding against the Eagles. Red Cash and the referee marks off 10, so that's what it'll be. Who's it against, you ask? Now let's find out.
Number 75, holding Philadelphia.
Stan Walters, Eagle tackle, guilty of the holding call, so that moves it back to the 28-yard line. And it becomes 2nd down, 20. Again, penalty markers flying all over the place as Jaworski gets rid of it to Sullivan, and Sullivan is bulldogged at the 32-yard line by Cecil Johnson. Well, we've had virtually a penalty-free first half with a couple of minor infractions up until this last minute or so. This one goes against the Buccaneers, I do believe. That's the preliminary indication we get. Dick Vermeil and John McKay, while they were in the Pac-8 at UCLA and USC, were 1-1 against each other. Of course, Dick was at UCLA just a couple of years before the Eagle opportunity came along.
Vermeil's been a successful coach, has McKay just about everywhere he went.
Offside, number 63, Tampa, declined.
Leroy Selman caught on the offside. Eagles decline it. Gain was bigger than the penalty. Ball is at the 34-yard line. It is 3rd down and 16. Nothing fancy there as they go back to the conservative offense. Mike Hogan met by Selman. Leroy at the line of scrimmage. And virtually no gain. So now Tampa will call time, which will give them at least an opportunity to return the punt before halftime. As you can see, we've got 17 seconds showing on the clock. Buccaneers this year are in the NFC Central Division, and that will be permanent. They'll play every team in the league this year. And then next year they go to the home and home basis with the Green Bays and the Detroits and the Minnesotas.
Now, the game today, Frank, has been very, very conservative on both teams, staying pretty much with the running game, not opening up as yet.
Let me ask you, how would you attack the three-man front? I mean, when you played quarterback, now that three-man thing wasn't such a big deal as it is today.
It's not. It's a lot bigger now than it has been. I'd still throw the football on first down, mix it up with your running game. And a lot of coaches feel that you can run a lot easier against that three-man front, but you also remember you have linebackers standing off there who do fill the gap, and the three-man front really messes the blocking assignments up for your offensive team.
Big rush by Tampa Bay. They had 10 men up there. Whoa! Getting loose momentarily was Isaac Higgins. And then the lights went out at about the 35-yard line. 6 seconds left. It was Mitchell who came down to make the stop, as Tampa Bay, utilizing the maximum rush there, thought they might get a break.
Be interesting to see here whether Hedberg goes for the long ball or just is ready to run the clock out.
What do you got to lose here by going for a long one?
Not a thing. Even if it's intercepted, you should be able to make the tackle.
Now, this could be the last play of the first half, and Hedberg is going to do exactly what John said, or he wants to anyway. Sees an opening, though, and going to run it, and that's going to be it. Time has run out in the first half of play as Hedberg wisely steps out of bounds. No sense in risking life or limb in that situation. So the first half ends at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia with the Eagles leading the Buccaneers 7-0 on the strength of Ron Jaworski's 8-yard touchdown pass to Tom Sullivan. It's a game that defense and mistakes, I guess, have predominated.
Defense has been the name of the game so far. Neither quarterback doing an outstanding job throwing the football. Greffley has made some very important catches for Jaworski. Carmichael's dropped the ball a few times. Not just kind of a ho-hum football game to this point.
But you can never tell what the second half will bring, because these two teams are fairly evenly matched, and each would like a victory very badly to start the 1977 season. The Buccaneers just to get a league victory under their belt, because they know it's got to come sometime, right? But on the other hand, the Philadelphia Eagles did win 4 last year, and they feel that they can be at least not exactly a dark horse factor, but a surprise factor in the Eastern Division and knock off some of the teams that might not be looking for them.
They have the ability to do that, and of course they're fighting that 9 straight year loss here as openers. And Philadelphia with Jaworski, who's had a good preseason, and back up in Gabriel, and saw a little bit of him earlier. It's a good football team. They have some good defensive players. The addition of the 3-man rush and 4 linebackers sitting back there, I think has helped them quite a bit. It gives them some good help in their secondary.
You know, Hedberg has been off to a slow start, as you might expect for a rookie in his first game, but I can't help but liken it to your situation when you came in. You were a free agent. He was a low-round draft choice. But here he is filling in for a quarterback who was injured, which you did when George Shaw was injured, and they didn't get you out of there for 17 years or something like that.
Frank, he's playing a lot better than I did when I first came in. I came in the ball game in Chicago in '56. We were ahead 21-7, and when I was finished playing that afternoon, we had lost 57-21.
That was the way you started, huh?
That's the way I started.
So wonder you were around the second week then, huh?
The first pass I threw went 53 yards for a touchdown the other way.
Are you serious?
That's right.
That's something out of the book that we never knew about, John.
That's right. J.C. Caroline, I remember him well. He picked the first one off I threw, and I had the audacity to try to catch him.
Well, somebody had great faith in you, didn't they, to hang on to you after that. Halftime here at Philadelphia as the halftime entertainment gets underway before the crowd of 60,000 fans or so. It's just under capacity, which is the first time in quite some time that the Philadelphia Eagles have not sold out for a regular season game. They had some 4,000 or so tickets left as of Friday, and they had hopes perhaps of getting it close to sellout status by game time today. There's our score. Philadelphia 7, Tampa Bay. Back in a moment. Unitas, this is Frank Lieber, Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. And the second half not that far away. Those are the Swashbucklers. That's the Tampa Bay drill team, and they and the Tampa Bay band, the Buccaneers band, made the trip all the way to Philadelphia. Kind of a surprise for their football team. I've never heard of that in pro football. A band that would travel this far to go to a game, huh?
No, very seldom have I ever heard of it, Frank. Even back in the old days, you used to get a shot of Jaworski on the sideline.
And his opposite on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the young rookie quarterback from Minot in North Dakota, and that, of course, Randy Hedberg, who's been at the throttle of Tampa Bay in the entire first half. Hedberg 3 out of 8 for 18 yards, and Jaworski in the first half of play was 7 out of 11 for 85 yards. Here are the halftime statistics, team stats. Yards passing, Buccaneers in the hole in that department.
Not too much difference, except the total yardage 158 to 46. Let's see if they don't open this game up a little bit, a little more than what they had in the first half, Frank.
Anthony Davis, one of the deep men. High kick and very short. Davis moving up on it at the 15-yard line. AD's across the 25 to the 30-yard line. Creamed at the 32. Wilbert Montgomery made the stop for the Philadelphia Eagles. So let's see if the Bucs, as John says, open up that offense. You feel they got to throw a little more in first down, huh?
I think they do. They have not done it. They did not do it this first half. And, of course, Hedberg does have the arm, and you can't blame him because he's not calling the plays. Coach Nelson on his sideline is sending the plays in. I think he has to open the game up and throw the ball on first down in order to pick up some yardage and then keep a run-pass situation going for himself.
Well, we get markers all over the place prior to the snap. In fact, Hedberg has a tough time trying to pull away with that snap. Manny Sistrunk came hurtling through, but it's going to go against Tampa Bay for illegal procedure. So the Bucs wind up 5 in the hole before they even run the first play of the second half. We'll get the word here from the referee, Red Cashin.
False start, number 70, Tampa.
It's Darryl Carlton, the tackle that they got from the Dolphins. First down, 15. Buccaneers at their 27-yard line. McKay to the left side. Morris Owens is split to the right. Ricky Bell gets the call. And Bell to the 29 for a pickup of 2 yards. Ricky, 11 carries for 30 yards in the first half. Williams had 4 carries for a total of 14 yards. Lazatich making the stop.
Not much offense being shown by the Buccaneers to date. As we see, Nelson sending in another play. This is a passing situation. Let's see what he decides to go with. And again, he's going to be throwing into that 8 men back in that secondary, which makes it very tough.
Second down, Buccaneers will need 12 for the first down. We get a whistle, only one another ball, which they will get. You get an option anytime you want. Have the football changed?
Yes, you can. You can change the ball anytime you feel that there's maybe it's too wet, someone was sweating on it, or what happened to it.
Man from Minot back to throw it, standing strong in the pocket, just deflected at the last moment by Terry Totolo, number 58. It was intended for Morris Owens, number 85, at the 40-yard line.
It was a good play by Totolo. Watch Owens come down the field as he comes across the middle, right in front of Berg, and Totolo did get a hand into it. It would have been right on the money.
Third down, 12. In case you're wondering, O.J. Simpson, to compare Ricky Bell with him, O.J. in his first game ever for Buffalo carried 10 times for 35 yards. So Bell is approaching that figure right now. Hedberg on 3rd and 13 is excellent protection. Floats it out and over the head of the intended receiver that time, the tight end Bob Moore. Eric Johnson, number 49, was back there. The rookie had a shot at an interception for Philadelphia. So the Bucs are stopped again. And it's beginning to look like the problems they had last year moving the football are surfacing once again as the 1977 season begins. They scored less points than any team in the National Football League. Mitchell is back deep. He was on the right, and Larry Marshall on the left. Marshall last year the number 5 punt returner in the NFC. And Marshall will try to field this one and does at the 40, loses it. Ball is loose. Who's got it? Picked up by Tampa Bay and run out of bounds at the 10-yard line. But hold everything. It's going to be a Tampa Bay recovery. It was Dana Knapziger, number 83, who picked it up as Marshall scrambled for it, and watch him move down the sidelines after he gets it. What's called taking a...
Cecil Johnson actually hit him as he was going for the ball. And he picked it up. It's a big break for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now let's see if they can take advantage of it. There's a little discussion on the field with the officials. Bergey's down there. He's in the discussion.
Now let's hold everything. I'll tell you something. And I stopped for just a moment because I was not quite sure of the rule here. But I think I'm going to have to get the rule book out that you can recover that punt, but you can't pick it up and run it. Let's see if that's the case. Yeah, the officials. Let's see if that is the case. I think they're going to give Tampa Bay the ball where they recovered the fumble.
It's Tampa's ball, but the ball is being brought back here because it was never caught. It was recovered as a kick, so it's first down this way.
It was not a... That's right, it was a muff. It was never caught, and man never had control of the football. Therefore, it becomes Tampa Bay's ball.
So the Buccaneers will get it at the 42-yard line.
Come on, behind that line.
Well, Red Cash and the referee talking to players on both sides. I think Red has forgotten to switch his mic off, so we may hear something that we shouldn't hear. Could make it interesting. Ball is at the 42-yard line of the Eagles. The recovery stands, but the run back doesn't. So another opportunity here for the Buccaneers. Pitch out to Ricky Bell, and Bell caught behind the line of scrimmage. First of all, by number 79, Manny Sistrunk, who got him by the jersey and held him until the reinforcements arrived in the person of Art Toms.
Sistrunk just beat Bell to the line of scrimmage. Came through the defensive end's position, came right down the line and caught Bell from behind.
Pickup of a yard in the play. Let's call it second down 8. Hedberg looking right, then left, then finally firing it to Ricky Bell inside the 30. And the Buccaneers have a first down at the 28-yard line as Frank LeMaster makes the stop. Morris Owens was apparently his original target, but the Eagles had him well in tow. So Hedberg, displaying a lot of cool, went to the alternate receiver.
Let's take a look at Owens over there. He was covered fairly well. He going to his alternate receiver, Ricky Bell, picking up the first down. Good play by Hedberg.
First and 10 from the 29. It's Ricky Bell. Bell found an opening, still on his feet inside the 20, down to the 15-yard line. Ricky Bell almost breaking loose and showing why he was such a great running back at USC. And Ricky's coming into this game, by the way, with some ankle problems. Had a bad ankle, but he's hanging in there.
It's good job running number 95 on the tackle. Let's watch it from our end zone cameras. There's a little pitch to Bell. Some good blocking by number 43, Williams out in front. Breaks the tackle right there. Good balance and good strong leg drive by Ricky Bell is the reason he gets to where he is.
So Ricky well above now O.J. Simpson's figure in his first game as a pro, as Ricky has surpassed the 50-yard mark in rushing. First down at the 11-yard line. Again, it's Ricky Bell. Got a yard this time to the 10 as the Eagles weren't fooled.
That was a draw play, Frank. They used that against the Baltimore Colts last week on the same situation down around the goal line. But they scored on it with Ricky Bell making a fine run.
Tampa Bay hopes to avoid all the injury problems they had last year. They wound up with 17 players on injured reserve, which is absolutely unbelievable. Had 12 knee injuries on that ball club, and only once did they start the same offensive line 2 weeks in a row.
Ricky Bell went out here, and we got Anthony Davis now.
Second and 9. Here's Davis to the 10, to the 5. Boy, you talk about quickness. He showed a little there. Davis, you know, is a rookie now for the 3rd year in a row. Once in the World Football League, once in the Canadian League, and now in the NFL.
They must feel that Davis has better speed to the outside than what Bell does. To me, it's pretty much of a toss-up. I would guess that Bell is more of a fullback type runner, a strong leg drive, as we saw in the play previous. And that Davis is the scat back type, Frank, to the outside stuff.
Ball is at the 6-yard line, 3rd down. The Buccaneers need to reach the 1 to pick up the first down. Hedberg floats it out. It is incomplete. Batted away from the intended receiver, John McKay, in a fine defensive play. McKay, number 89. Covered well all the way. Let's look at it.
Just a quick out by McKay. You see John Outlaw right there, a little hand pushing, but he gets his hand in the football and knocks it down. Fine play by Johnny Outlaw.
4th down. Green will attempt the field goal from the 12-yard line, make it a 22-yard effort. The man who beat out George Hunt, the former Giants, and Derek Smethers, who of course came down with an injury. And it is up, and it is through. So Tampa Bay has scored its first points in the 1977 season on the 22-yard field goal by Dave Green to make it a 7-3 game.
Europe's most successful new car in history comes to America. Introducing Fiesta, now imported from Germany by Ford. Fiesta, 0 to 50 in an average of 8.8 seconds. Road-gripping Michelin radial tires. The traction of front-wheel drive and excellent gasoline economy. Fiesta, Europe's most successful new car in history. Test drive one at your authorized Ford dealer now.
The Hilton Rainbow Service welcome. Look for it on your next business trip. In the nation's capital, it's minutes from Pennsylvania Avenue at the Washington Hilton. In Los Angeles, you'll find Rainbow Service near the Civic Center at the Los Angeles Hilton. While in San Francisco, it's just a cable car ride from almost anywhere. Hilton Rainbow Service. You'll find it at the heart of every Hilton, in the heart of most every city.
Let the Hilton Rainbow brighten your day.
There's the two opposing coaches, John McKay on the left and Dick Vermeil on the right. Dave Green preparing to kick off. Marshall is deep, so is Wilbert Montgomery. Marshall, the workhorse, out to the 10, 15, 20, and dropped at the 23-yard line. Jack Novak, number 80, for the Buccaneers. Good coverage that time by Tampa Bay. Eagles have put it in play at their 24-yard line, leading by a score of 7-3. The Buccaneers return home Saturday night to face Minnesota. In their second outing, Eagles will be traveling to Los Angeles to take on the Rams. Sullivan out to the 25. It doesn't get easy for the Buccaneers from here. They get Minnesota and then Dallas the next 2 weeks.
They have a tough schedule. Most things are running true to form. Philadelphia still staying on the ground. There you see the scoring drive, 7 plays, total yardage 37. Time elapsed 3:38.
Second down, 7. Eagles moving from their 27-yard line. Intended for Carmichael, tipped and almost intercepted there by Richard Wood, number 54. Wood is the only linebacker, starting linebacker, that the Buccaneers have with any experience. He was with the Jets for a couple of years. The other three are either rookies or playing in that position. for the first time.
Jaworski trying to throw the quick slant into that three-man rush and 4 linebackers. You've got to really hit that hole with that ball, Frank. That time, linebacker was in there, got a hand up and popped it up in the air.
3rd down, 7. Jaworski with good protection, and is it intercepted? Yes, the Buccaneers intercept the ball at the 30-yard line as the pass was hung out there, and it was Cecil Johnson, number 56, who made the interception. Not a very good pass.
It was a great catch by Cecil Johnson. He was going after the receiver and just put his hands out. The ball dropped into it right here. Let's look at it. Good shot. The ball really should have been caught. Some good pressure coming in here on Jaworski.
That's Rudolph.
Council bops him a little bit.
He does indeed.
Just to let him know he's still around.
Wow.
Tampa has another shot at a touchdown here to go ahead in this football game.
1st and 10 for the Buccaneers at the Eagle 31. They scored a moment ago, taking advantage of the fumble of the punt by Larry Marshall and turning it into points. Looking for the halfback pass here, and the throw is going to be long and over the head of McKay, the intended receiver. We get a flag thrown. The halfback pass put up by Lewis Carter.
Well, it was a smart play by Carter, just throwing it downfield. Nobody was going to get it. It was already over the end zone. Rather than try to drill it in there, maybe come up with an interception.
Or hopefully an interference call, but they're bringing it back to the line of scrimmage, so for Tampa Bay, it's going to go the wrong way, looks like. Well, the ball is at the 31-yard line. They're indicating 2nd down and no penalty. They did drop the flag in the end zone.
Well, there was a flag down, or maybe it may have been dropped inadvertently.
Now the fans are booing. They thought that perhaps McKay interfered with their man. Here's Carter. Carter was the leading rusher last year for the Buccaneers. Relegated to backup duty this year with the advent of Ricky Bell and Anthony Davis. Bunting and Berge making the stop. Here's a 3rd quarter score for you. Dolphins over Buffalo. Greasy playing with glasses, I understand, huh?
Yes, he is. He had the eye problems with his contact lens, weren't focusing right, so they decided to try the eyeglasses, and evidently they are paying off. Detroit 7 and Chicago 14 in the 2nd period.
3rd down, 7. Our score, the Eagles 7, the Buccaneers 3. Bucks threatening at the 28-yard line of Philadelphia, and Randy Hedberg over the middle, and he completes the pass, and that's good for a 1st down. Number 81, Isaac Higgins, making the reception for Tampa Bay, but there's a marker down, and it's going to be wiped out by a holding call.
Well, those are the kind of things you just hate to see with a new expansion football team. A fine throw that time by Hedberg to Higgins, who made a good reception. Good protection. And I guess he had good protection because they were holding.
That probably does make a difference. We'll see who this one's against as we listen to the referee, Red Cashin.
Holding, number 86, Tampa.
Bob Moore, the tight end. That's a big break for the Philadelphia Eagles. That moves it back 10 to the 38-yard line. It's now 3rd down, 17. Packers and the Saints are in the 1st quarter. Look at Green Bay. It was New Orleans had the great preseason. And the Packers had their problems, but they've jumped 2 touchdowns in front. Ricky Bell, the only setback. His passing formation. Hedberg flushed out of the pocket. Still looking. Oh, he's in big trouble. That will be intentional grounding. Not much question about that. Intentional grounding against Randy Hedberg, who tried to dump it to avoid being tossed for what would amount to about a 20-yard loss. He was dropped for a 22-yard loss.
He's frustrated right there after throwing the ball very well the play before. Now we're coming up. He was forced out of the pocket, but I don't know that he had to get out quite as soon as he did. Now he's moving around, look, a la Fran Tarkenton, and he just throws the football away. It's 4th down anyway, so he's a loss of down and yardage, and opening up a punting situation for the Buccaneers.
So the Bucs will punt it away. The loss on the penalty amounted to about what Hedberg would have sustained had he been trapped. 4th down and 32. Low snap to Dave Green, but he gets it away. Marshall chasing this to the far sideline. And a great kick by Green. Out of bounds inside the 10. The officials will mark it, looks like, at the 5-yard line. So the Eagles will start with their backs to the wall here in the 3rd period, leading it by a score of 7-3.
All across our land, people know our brand. You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Spark Plugs by AC. We'll help you smile throughout the miles. You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Spark Plugs by AC. So when you want to go, we're the name to know. You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Spark Plugs by AC. Firing spark plugs by
Thanks,
AC.
AC. We played great as a team.
I operated the offense.
And I directed the defense.
And now we both drink light beer from Miller.
Not just because it tastes great, but also because it's got 1/3 less calories than their regular beer. It's less filling.
Hey, bartender, 2 more lights here. What's it all mean, Casey?
Simple, Sam.
If you want to keep up with the Joneses,
you better drink light beer.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Let's give you a couple other scores in the National Football League this afternoon. You talk about a surprise. We told you name it through a touchdown pass, but since then it's been all Atlanta.
Atlanta 17, Los Angeles 3. It looks like New York is up on top of Washington 10-0 in the 3rd period.
Giants got nothing but rookie quarterbacks, too. 1st down for the Eagles at their 5-yard line. They give it to Hogan. A lot of fancy footwork there, getting out across the 10 to about the 12. Mark Cotney, number 33, making the stop.
That's good running by Hogan. For you young kids watching the ball game, is reason never to quit running. These things do happen. He bounced back away from the hole and picked up some good yardage. On that New York-Washington ball game, we had a 30-yard interception by George E. Martin to put the Giants on top 7-0, and then a 22-yard field goal. Put them 10-0 in the 3rd period.
2nd down, 2. Sullivan driving for the 1st down. And if everything is in order, he should have it at the 16-yard line. Dave Pear coming up to make the stop. Eagles leading by a score of 7-3 with 6 minutes and 40 seconds left to play in the 3rd period. Hogan averaging better than 5 yards a carry thus far. Played his college football at Tennessee, Chattanooga. First down from the 16-yard line. Jaworski under pressure from Selman gets it away as he was falling down to Hogan. Out to the 13-yard line. And not a bad job of delivering that thing.
I'll tell you what, Leroy Selman, I think he's frustrated. He thought he had Jaworski back there for the 2 points. Let's look at it as the fake of a run play here, trying to hold the linebackers, but Selman just blows through. You see he has a hold of Jaworski, but he does get rid of the football, and he's put down on the ground very gingerly.
All right. They spotted at the 14-yard line. That'll set up 2nd down, 12. Needed for the Eagles. Buccaneers trying to force another turnover. You see that thing pop straight up?
That's what happens when a quarterback leaves too soon or the center goes ahead too quickly. The ball will come straight up, and Jaworski was very quick to pick it out of the air and to hand it to Hogan, or Sullivan, I believe it was, who tried to pick up some yardage.
It was Hogan. Counsel Rudolph making the stop that time for Tampa Bay. And the Buccaneers, if they can hold him here, will have the Eagles punting out of the end zone and could wind up with pretty good field position. 3rd down, 12 needed for the 1st down. Ron Jaworski, good protection. Trying to drill Charlie Smith. Pass interference flags all over the place. And will go against number 40, Mike Washington, the defensive back of the Buccaneers.
It was a good call by the officials standing right there. The ball was right on target, and Washington really never had a chance of knocking the ball down. He was really interfering with the receiver before the ball got to him.
Well, that's a costly situation for Tampa Bay because they would have had him backed up pretty good. Now they've got the first down out of the 31.
That deserves another look. As you see Jaworski going back. Good protection this time for Jaworski. A fine throw. You see Washington made contact prior to the ball getting there.
First down, Eagles at their 31-yard line. Sullivan cutting back to the 35, across the 40 to the 42-yard line. That's 10 yards. David Lewis, number 57, second-round draft choice for the Buccaneers from Southern Cal, made the stop. Here's an update on you on Cleveland, Cincinnati. You thought the Bengals were strong this year? I don't know. This is going to be the day of the upset, huh?
That sure is. Cleveland 13, Cincinnati 3 in the third period.
I'm not believing some of these scores.
Well, that Atlanta score surprised me.
First and 10. Eagles at their 42-yard line. 4 minutes left in the third period. Philadelphia 7. Tampa Bay 3. Nice fake to Sullivan. Jaworski rolling right, throwing to Krepley. And running right through Mr. Krepley that time was Cedric Brown, number 34.
Unfortunate that we didn't have an interception on that play. It was a fine fake by Jaworski, coming off and then rolling back to his right. Had plenty of time. There you see the throw, and watch the defensive back almost coming up with the interception.
Jaworski unofficially is 8 out of 15 for 83 yards. He's had a couple picked off. Sullivan, the leading rusher, with 34 yards and 14 carries, and Hogan has 31 and 7 carries. Second and 10. Jaworski finding Charlie Smith at the 45 of Tampa Bay, and Smith has a first down. David Lewis, number 57, on the stop for the Bucs. So the Eagles are rolling right now. This drive, which started back at their 5.
Jaworski getting fine protection now, Frank, as he has time to throw, spots his receiver, makes a completion.
One thing about Jaworski, he throws that thing awful hard.
Well, he does throw it hard. He normally gets, they need 8. He says, you get 6, I'll get the other 2. And Detroit is behind Chicago, 7. Chicago 20 in the second period.
Jaworski, sideline throw to Carmichael at the 35, and Carmichael run out of bounds right at the first down marker at the 33-yard line. That should be good for another first down. Cedric Brown making the stop.
Just a little quick out to Carmichael. As you see, Carmichael picking the pass off. There's two missed tackles right there. And it's a little sloppy tackling, but Carmichael picks up the first down for the Eagles.
So the Eagles continue to move. They have a first down now at the Tampa Bay 33-yard line as Jaworski sets Carmichael wide to the right side. He's got Smith split to the left. And either Jaworski or the center, Guy Morris, wanted a fresh ball. Leading receiver for Jaworski has been Krepley, who has caught 3 for 60 yards. Now let's see what's going on here. I guess we're ready to go. Everybody set. First and 10. Ball at the 33-yard line of Tampa Bay. Hogan to the 25 and down to the 23, and that's good for another 10. Eagles from the 23 of Tampa Bay, a little out to Carmichael. He stretched that 6'8" that time.
As I said before, it's kind of tough to overthrow a man who's 6'8".
Run out of bounds just outside the 15-yard line. Again, it was Jarris White on the pass coverage, and White, like so many defensive backs, is at a disadvantage. He is 5'11". That's a little bit of a mismatch.
I would say it would be.
Nose of the ball just outside the 15. Pickup of 7 on the play to second down 3. Packers 21 zip over the Saints in the second quarter. That's down in the Superdome. And Hank Stram is probably chewing that program apart right now. Eagles call timeout with 2 minutes 23 seconds left to play in the third period, and Philadelphia leading by a score of 7-3.
I drive a Ford pickup because my daddy told me they're built tough. Right, Daddy?
Right, and I bought a Ford pickup because my daddy told me they were built tough. Right, Daddy?
Yep, and I drive a Ford pickup because my daddy told me they were built tough. Right, Daddy?
That's right, yeah. My daddy came to Texas in a covered wagon. I had to learn about Fords on my own. I'm a smart old bird, ain't I?
Of all Ford trucks registered over the last 12 years, 93 out of 100 are still on the job.
If you've ever wondered how something so big got off the ground, part of the answer is light, strong aluminum. Aluminum's high strength and light weight made modern aviation possible. Aluminum is important to most forms of transportation because taking the weight off planes and trucks, and now cars, saves fuel. Aluminum in transportation can be an energy saver today.
We can't wait for tomorrow. Alcoa can't wait.
Frank Lieber with John Unitas, Veterans Stadium, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The NFL opener between the Buccaneers and the Eagles. And right now, Philadelphia on the move with a second down 3 as they come up to the line of scrimmage at the 15-yard line of Tampa Bay. Jaworski, 11 out of 18 for 115 yards. Sullivan dipping inside and then back out to about the 13-yard line. Pickup of 2 in the play. Dave Pear, number 76. Richard Wood, number 54, making the stop. Pear was with the Colts for a while, wasn't he?
He was, and he enjoyed playing last week's football game because he was all over the field making all types of tackles. Right now, the Philadelphia Eagle offensive line is moving that defensive line off the football. Jaworski mixing his play calling very, very well at this time, or should I say Coach Vermeil mixing the play calling very well.
Third down and a yard needed for the first down. They go with Sullivan, and Sullivan has the first down at the 10-yard line. Dewey Selman, number 61, makes the stop. Leroy and Dewey, the only brothers starting in the same defensive squad in the NFL. They've got a few more coming up from Oklahoma, by the way. They just keep grinding them out.
Well, they have the Hanna brothers as well. One on this football team here, another one with the New England team, and we have another one in Alabama ready to come out and play here again.
First down, goal to go from the 10-yard line. Jaworski looking right, tried to go back left, and then was pinned. Council Rudolph, number 78, the first to arrive on the scene, with an assist from Johnson, number 56. Big play for the Bucs.
Let's watch the rush by Council Rudolph here as Jaworski looks once, and that's the only time he has, as Cecil Johnson, 56, and Rudolph both in there on the tackle. Good pass rush.
Loss on the play back to the 17-yard line. Second and goal to go from that point. Hogan has now picked up 42 yards on the ground and 8 carries. Sullivan is 39 and 16. Jaworski, protection is good this time. That's a touchdown to Keith Ripley, number 84, the tight end. Shoestring catch by Ripley, as Jaworski got excellent pass protection and just drilled him over the middle.
Let's look at the protection and the throw. Krifley making a fine reception in the end zone of a Jaworski pass. Not much pass rush by the Buccaneers. There's the throw, a fine throw and a fine catch by Krifley. Take a look at it from another angle. Jaworski afforded excellent protection, an excellent catch by Krifley.
Washington, number 40, tried to dive in front of him, but couldn't get a piece of the ball. Horst Muehlman with the extra point try hit the post and came back. No good. He missed one all of last year. So with 29 seconds left to play in the third period, the Eagles lead it 13-3.
I'm gonna keep on doing that till I get it right. Yeah, I work hard and I play hard, and I use new STP gas treatment. You just pump it in your tank and it goes to work cleaning your carburetor. I take good care of my wheels on account of I'm cheap. I bet you are too. Try it.
Here's a few tips on how to get out of an airport fast. 1, join the #1 club and reserve a car with Hertz. 2, have your license and credit card ready, because Hertz will be ready for you. Just sign and go. 3, need directions? Ask Hertz. They know the shortest routes. Nobody can get you out of an airport faster. Nobody can get you out of an airport faster.
Go, Juice! Go!
Rent a Ford from Hertz, a superstar in rent-a-car. Ride.
Muehlman ready to kick off. I don't know if he got a bad hold or what on that extra point try, but he never really got into it. Anthony Davis deep at the 3. AD out to the 15, 20, 25. A very distinctive running style. He's down at the 28. Davis, I understand, had a little talk with Coach McKay here about a week ago. Thought perhaps he ought to be playing a little bit more, as some people do who sit on the bench. But I think they got that all ironed out.
They ironed that out last week. I was down in Tampa with the Baltimore Colt ball game, and Anthony was walking out of the office at that time. He was kind of a little upset, I guess, is the right phraseology, that he wasn't playing more, and he went in to discuss it with the head coach. But they ironed it out, Frank.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. Hedberg back to throw it under pressure. Really pressured that time by Charlie Johnson. And Hedberg is down. That's all they need, is to lose another quarterback. Hedberg thus far has hit 4 out of 14 for a total of 30 yards. Their backup now is Jeb Blunt.
There's a look at it. Just watch the pressure that's put on right there. It was a screen, supposed to be a screen pass out there, but never developed, as Hedberg was knocked down, and he's...
Take a look at it from the end zone here. Looked like maybe he just hit hard and got winded, huh?
Well, it doesn't look like his head hit the ground there. I don't whether he may have knocked himself a little silly or not, but he's down on the floor of the stadium at this point.
Their backup, as we said, is Jeb Blunt. He's coming on the field right now, 6'3", 200, and a rookie out of Tulsa. Jeff spent a little time with the Raiders, never played much, but you know, with the connection that the Raiders and the Buccaneers have with Ron Wolf being the former Raider, they've got a pretty good pipeline back and forth, just like McKay does with Southern Cal. They've got as many former Southern Cal players, 7, as they do former Oakland Raider players, total of 7.
Hedberg walked off under his own power, so he should be back in the ball game.
2nd and 10 following the incompleted forward pass. Here's Blunt. Swings it out to Williams, and Williams carries to the 33-yard line. Williams started 10 games last season, and that is tops among the Buccaneer running backs. And there is the gun. That is the end of the third quarter with the score, the Eagles 13 and the Bucks 3. We now pause for a word from your local station.
When a mysterious sneak thief strikes, the Fitzpatricks rally to the challenge. Don't miss this new drama series, Tuesday night on CBS.
Well, the Bears continue to pour it on the Detroit Lions. Got an update of that game for you. And the Bears are now in front 27-7. Our score, Philadelphia 13, Tampa Bay 3, and Randy Hedberg has come back into the game at quarterback. So it was just a momentary thing, whatever it was. 3rd down 6. Tampa Bay from their 33, and Hedberg completes the pass and looks like it's going to be a little bit short of the first down. Lewis Carter pulling that one down. Let's see where they mark it. I don't think it's quite going to be enough. I imagine he'll have a word for Mr. Carter when he gets to the bench about stretching out that pattern another yard or so.
Well, that's one thing you have to know as a back coming out of the backfield, how much yardage you need to get as a pass receiver, and always make sure you get at least 1 or 2 more than you want.
So 4th down and a yard needed for the first down. David Green to do the punting. Nice kick again. Marshall fading back inside his 10. Fields it at the 8, out to the 15, the 20. Looking for a hole, gets across the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And the Eagles have put it in play from there. Dana Dafziger making the tackle. He's had a pretty good afternoon on the specialty teams for Tampa Bay. Buccaneers having their problems. They were last in offense last year in the league, scored only 125 points, averaging 9 points per game.
Yeah, the Buccaneers have a chance this year to set a record. The longest
Number 83.
losing streak in NFL history.
Offense down the field too soon, declined, first down.
So the Eagles feel they got a pretty good run back from Marshall to offset the fact that that Nafziger was down there a little bit sooner than he should have been.
Frank, we mentioned that the Buccaneers had a chance to set a record, not a very good one, though. The Oakland Raiders in 61-62 lost 19 consecutive games. And before that, the Chicago Cardinals of 42-45 lost 29 in a row. It's nothing happily you'd like to look at. But still the same exists that they have a possibility of setting that type of record this year.
Timeout on the field. We'll be back in a moment.
Sears is as big as Texas, and it has everything you need.
We're at a Sears store to find out why Sears is where America shops.
Well, I work for an airline and travel all over the country. So I find that I like to shop at Sears because I can always use my credit card there.
The Sears catalog is a fast, easy, convenient way of shopping.
I even buy my saris sometimes in Sears at the fabric department.
Sears, where America shops.
The Ford in Your Future is coming October 7th. The new Ford Fairmont. A new wagon designed for today and the years ahead. The Fairmont wagon has very good mileage ratings, but while it is trim and lean outside, Fairmont has almost 90% of the passenger space of GM's biggest wagons and can swallow up all this cargo. Is Fairmont the Ford in Your Future? Test drive Fairmont October 7th. Find out for yourself. Fairmont, the newest, better idea from the Wagon Master.
Betty White sees red when a blind date for her ex-husband leads to a blossoming romance. Join the laughter tomorrow at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
Frank Lieber with John Unitas in Philadelphia. Eagles ball 1st and 10 at their 30-yard line. They lead it 13-3. Ron Jaworski has gone all the way with the exception of one play in which Roman Gabriel came in and threw a pass completion. Hogan out to the 34-yard line. Pick up a 4 in that play. Make it 2nd down 6. Cecil Johnson again making the stop. Patriots have come back all the way now, taking the lead from Kansas City.
Jesse Phillips on an 11-yard run to put New England ahead 21-14.
If you're looking for highlights for Tampa Bay this afternoon, Dave Green has a 48-yard punting average. But when that's one of your highlights, you know you're in big trouble.
So far, he's been the best offensive weapon they've had.
Yes. James Betterson has come into the game replacing Hogan at a running back. Nice fake to Sullivan. Jaworski in trouble behind the line. Took one look. And in the sky fell in. Back at the 25-yard line. Maximum rush that time. Put on by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And again, it was Mr. Leroy Selman, number 63, leading the charge, along with Brother Dewey. Little family reunion. I'll meet you at the quarterback.
Well, he had plenty of time to throw. It was just excellent coverage by the Buccaneers secondary there. As you saw, Selman put Jaworski down.
3rd down. 12 needed for the first down for the Eagles at their 28-yard line. Carmichael to the right side, Smith to the left. Quick throw intended for Carmichael, and if you throw it to him, man, he's 6'8". Don't make him reach down. Throw it up. Make him reach up, right?
Get it up high. Keep that ball in there. Jaworski coming off the field looked like maybe it slipped out of his hand, but again, that's that quick slant. Carmichael had it. Jaworski just did not get the football to him.
Carmichael's caught 214 over the last 4 seasons, the most of any wide receiver in the NFL in that period.
He's also led the Philadelphia team's receivers 2 years in a row, and the other person who's done that for 3 years in a row was Pete Retzlaff.
Spike Jones punts it away. Going to be Reese at the 35, across the 40 to the 45-yard line. Once again, a reminder of what's coming up this weekend for you on CBS, the Trenton 150. For you auto racing aficionados, the Indy-type cars, and folks like Mario Andretti and Tom Sneva and Al Unser and Janet Guthrie will be on end. You ever watch the Indy 500?
I'm going to try to, Frank. It's a lot of fun for me. I think the most exciting part of it is when they say, drivers, get your cars.
No, it's drivers, it's gentlemen, start your engines, John.
Something like that.
You're just taking some of the glamour out of it there. Here's Hedberg. Nice fake. Lost the ball. Let's see if it's ruled a fumble or a forward pass. I think they are ruling that he was in the motion, and it will go as an incompletion. So Tampa Bay gets a break there. Well, you've watched this guy now for a game and almost 3 quarters. What's your assessment of young Mr. Hedberg?
I think Mr. Hedberg right now has a long way to go. He's not playing as well as he did last week against the Baltimore Colts, and that was the first ball game, of course, that he's had as a starter. And right now, I believe he's going to take an awful lot of work for him the remainder of this season. But I think he'll come along because he loves to play, and will sit in that pocket. And there we see an update of Green Bay, New Orleans 24, New Orleans nothing.
Packers really jumping on the Saints. 2nd down 10 for the Buccaneers at their 45-yard line. Again, Hedberg setting back in the pocket. Good throw intended for Higgins. Tipped away as he was double covered out there. John Sanders, number 26, was back there.
He could have used about another 6 inches on that ball, Frank, and he would have had 6 points or close to it.
Sets up a 3rd down 10 for the Buccaneers at their 45-yard line with 12 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the football game. Tampa Bay continuing to show great difficulty in being able to move the ball, though they have played fairly decent defensively. The exception of that 95-yard drive. Here's Hedberg again. Under severe pressure, being pinned back at the 37-yard line. Yeah, that's when it gets tough to be a rookie, isn't it?
It sure is, and he's get a look at it from his position. Keeps one back in, but there's outstanding pressure from the outside. The tackles are not taking the defensive ends outside enough, and of course Hedberg is going to have to learn to step up inside that pocket where it's safe for him.
Green in to do the punting. Eagles playing return all the way. Larry Marshall at the 15-yard line, 20, 25, 30. Flag down as he gets to the 35. Believe that will be a clip against Philadelphia. Got a Buccaneer who's getting up a little bit slowly. Oh, he's going to be all right. There's Cedric Brown. He will remain in the game. 47 yards on that kick by Green, so he's staying right in that 47, 48-yard area, average-wise. We'll get the word here as soon as Red Cashin puts the ball down. as to who the infraction was against. It occurred at the 18-yard line. You walk off the yardage half the distance. We'll move it down to the 9. There it is.
Illegal use of the hands, number 59.
Well, holding instead of clipping. Number 59 is Tom Ehlers. There's John McKay in the orange shirt. Bill Nelson, quarterback coach, talking things over on the sidelines. Timeout here, 11:40 left to play in the game.
You're coming in loud and clear. Must be a realistic CB radio.
10-4, good buddies. My new 40-channel realistic. Radio Shack's got it on sale right now for only $79. I save $60. Best deal I've made all year.
That realistic sure is a good brand.
10-4 on that. You can depend on realistic. They've been making them for 16 years.
The sale price 40-channel CB by Realistic. Only at Radio Shack. The Tandy Company.
Announcing a unique new motor oil from Exxon Research that can actually save money. New Golden Natural Uniflow. Uniflow was tested in cars like yours. After break-in, it delivered an overall average of 16 extra miles per tank full. Savings like that could cut your gasoline bill the equivalent of about 3 cents a gallon. New Uniflow motor oil is Exxon's best engine protection ever. It conserves gasoline, saves money.
Eagles 1st and 10 from their 9-yard line, and Philadelphia has substituted a new set of running backs. James Betterson, number 34, and Herb Lusk, number 32, are in there now. Back of Jaworski. Here's Lusk, bouncing off a tackle at the line of scrimmage, getting a yard to the 10. It's a young man who gained 254 yards last year, but he had 222 after 6 weeks. And over the last 8, he gained just 32 yards. There's the Tampa Rooters. Come a long way, trying to inspire their team. Drill team as well as the band. Second down, 9. Lusk taking the handoff again, this time to the 12 before Dave Fair.
Got a flag on that play. That's down in the difficult position that Jaworski, I'm sure, doesn't want to put the ball in the air.
Holding against the Eagles. Be half the distance to the goal in this case, if they elect to take the penalty. Otherwise, it'd be about a 3rd and 7.
Holding, number 64, Philadelphia, declined.
The holding call going against Ed George, the Eagle tackle. So they'll take the down instead. That'll set up 3rd down. And 7 needed for the 1st down. Jaworski going long for Charlie Smith, almost intercepted by number 45, Jarris White.
That was a change-up for Jaworski. I thought he would be going for the possession-type pass rather than the long pass. He just threw that ball up in the air and almost came up with the interception.
Now the Buccaneers have a chance to gain some pretty good field position here because Philadelphia, Spike Jones will be punting from out of the end zone.
See if they can't get a good rush on Spike Jones here. Possibly go for the block.
Reese and Higgins are the deep men. Tampa with 9 men on the line of scrimmage, but they look pretty much like they're playing return all the way. Nice high kick. Reese waiting for this one at his 47 to the 50 and into Philadelphia territory to the 47-yard line of the Eagles. And that's where the Bucs will put it in play. Well, a lot of upsets today in the NFL. What will happen next week? Well, it's hard to say, but we can tell you where we'll be telecasting games from. This is the CBS NFL regional lineup for next Sunday afternoon, depending on what part of the country you happen to be. You'll be looking at one of these games. Chicago at St. Louis certainly should be one of the headliners. Bears doing a number on the Lions today. Giants will be in Dallas. And the Giants, of course, are upsetting Washington right now. And Philadelphia at Los Angeles. 1st and 10 for the Buccaneers. Hedberg got rid of it quickly that time to Ricky Bell to the 45, 44-yard line. Again, a marker. John Outlaw coming up to make the stop. Well, you can see really flashes of greatness there with Ricky Bell every once in a while. One of those moves he puts on. The penalty is against the Bucs. And it will cost them 10.
Johnny Outlaw coming off the field seems to have hurt his ankle or his knee. Doesn't look like it's too serious, however. And both teams being in are playing for quite a while. Tampa's getting a little tired, making some silly errors out on the field. Reason for all the flags.
10 minutes, 28 seconds left to play in the game. It is 1st down 20. Buccaneers from their 43 following the penalty. Randy Hedberg better get rid of it. He does. Just in time, Lewis Carter run out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Big rush that time by number 79 of the Philadelphia Eagles, Manny Sistrunk, who had his paw in Hedberg's face and forced him to deliver it a little bit early. Berge making the tackle. It's Bill Nelson conferring with John McKay. Now, if John could recruit like he did at USC, you wouldn't have any problems, right? Unfortunately, you can't go out and get anybody you want here.
No, that's one thing. It's rather difficult to do. You just don't get the people that you want to. You have to take your turns in that draft.
2nd down, 23. There was a loss of 3 yards on that play. Ball is back at the 39-yard line. Now the Buccaneers are going backwards in this series. Hedberg dropped for another loss at the 33. Randy Logan, number 41. Pressure in this rookie now, shooting in defensive backs and everything else.
They're throwing everything at him. They had good pressure on him, making him run with the football, moving him up inside. He's going to have to draw a screen, set up regular screens to get a little bit more protection.
All right, John, what do you call in 3rd and 29?
3rd and 29, so I don't know, but I don't want it.
Hedberg's got number 81, Isaac Higgins, out to the left side. He's got Owens off to the right. He's going to try to get it. Going down long, throwing a rainbow out there for Owens. I would say that would have to be just a little bit of luck on the part of the Eagle defensive back.
Owens had his man beat down there, and the ball was just underthrown slightly. Had it been out there about another foot or so, I think we'd had a completion and at least a 1st down.
I don't think the defensive back, Edwards, was even looking at the ball here. He just got there just luckily at the right time.
He sure did. It was a fine play by him, but he almost had a real good completion. And that's 2 now that we've had almost connecting on for the Buccaneers. And so far, Mr. Green has been the best weapon they've had. Let's see what he can do with it this time.
$61,549 in attendance here at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. That's just about capacity. There's a few vacant seats in the far upper reaches here, but not many. Green, who has averaged 48 yards per punt. Low snap. Eagles again playing return all the way, and Marshall, who's had a busy afternoon, flags this one down at the 27, 35, 40, and up to the 43-yard line. Pretty good run back. This young man was drafted, a very low-round draft choice originally by Kansas City, found his way to Philadelphia, and he's been one of the best kick returners in the NFL. We'll be back in just a moment.
Ten years ago, no one knew me. I was part of the famous no-name defense. Then we built our reputation by being fast. Now, I don't want to lose that. I drink light beer from Miller because it doesn't fill me up, has the third less calories than a regular beer, and it tastes great. Now everyone knows me.
Hey, I know you. You're,
Nick Bonacani.
No, that's not it.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Want to cut your fuel bills? Whether your house is new or old, put insulation everywhere. It can save you money. Your attic. You need a 6 to 12-inch blanket of pink Owens Corning fiberglass. Walls, full insulation. Unheated crawl space, insulate below the floor. Live where it's cold, insulate basement walls. See your Owens Corning fiberglass supplier to learn all about insulation. Insulation is cheaper than oil.
Redskins, who trailed at one point 10-0 in that game, have now moved out ahead of the New York Giants up at Giant Stadium 14-10.
14-10. Riggins on a 3-yard pass from Kilmer to put the Washingtons ahead. 14, Giants 10.
Here's Jaworski looking right, then deciding to go left. The big Harold Carmichael at the 45-yard line. When all is said and done, he'll wind up gaining maybe about 3 yards or so on that particular play. Mike Washington shoving him out of bounds. There's the Eagle bench. There's the signals being sent in. Everybody's going to the hand signal business like, huh? You know, it seems to me you get somebody sharp that can steal signals, and there are clubs, I bet, that do that. That they'll figure out your pattern and they'll steal your signals, just like they do in baseball.
Well, it's a possibility to do that. Of course, the quarterback always has the last shot at the line of scrimmage to change it.
2nd down, 6. Eagles from their 48, trying to get outside, is Hogan. He carries to the 49-yard line, picked up a yard in the play, and again it was Washington who made the stop. Hogan, who led the Eagles in rushing last year despite missing several games. It's John McKay. Said the Eagles have real problems not having a draft. They didn't have a pick this year until the 5th round, and next year they're minus their 1st and 2nd as part of the Bill Berge deal. They're still paying Cincinnati for that. Berge cost him 2 number 1s and a number 2. 3rd down, 5. Eagles at their 48. Jaworski dialing Carmichael's number, and Washington has him well covered. Mr. Carmichael said, "How about it, ref?"
No, he turned open. Jaworski didn't get to him quickly enough, and the coverage was there. It deserves a look from our end zone cameras. You see Jaworski hesitate to the throw to Carmichael, but the linebacker and the defensive back right in there and knocked the ball clean. Never hurts to ask, though.
No, it never does. Spike Jones to do the punting. Reese is deep along with Higgins. Putting it rush this time by Tampa, angling for the near sidelines, takes an Eagle bounce inside the 15 and going to go out at about the 12-yard line. So Tampa Bay will put it in play. It's a lot different Tampa Bay team actually than the fans saw last year. They just don't have many people left at all. They have 1 offensive starter back from last season, and they have 5 defensive starters. That's quite a turnover.
An expansive team. The people leave out of the camps just like a streetcar, Frank. They come and go all the time. Just keep trying to find the right man for the right position. And they play the numbers games down there. The more people they have, the more people they get a chance to look at and finally decide on the 43 for the season.
Ball is at the 13-yard line. Randy Hedberg, sideline throw, gets it out to Owens at the 15, up to about the 18-yard line. Pick up a 5 on the play. It'll be 2nd down, 5. 8 minutes, 25 seconds left. It's the tight end, Moore, getting the next play from Bill Nelson. Then alternating Moore and Novak at tight ends most of the afternoon, sending in the plays that route instead of going the signal routine, which the Buccaneers have used to some extent in the past. Second down, 5. Bucks from their 18. Hedberg again with the sideline throw. This time to John McCain. It's good for the 1st down at the 26-yard line.
Well, he's starting to throw the football now. Of course, it's just the quick outs, but that's what's there. If it's there, you take it and take it until they stop it. And then you have to go to something else. But now he's been able to pick up a 1st down on 2 straight passes. And let's see what Coach Nelson comes up with this next time.
He's got Novak coming in and Hagens. 1st and 10. Buccaneers at their 26-yard line. They trail 13-3. 8 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. Hedberg is 8 out of 21 for 45 yards. Looks left, looks right, and goes long. He's got Owens if he can reach him, but he's out of bounds with the throw. Owens had his man by 2 or 3 steps. He had Randy Logan beat, really streaking down that far sideline, but the ball was thrown out of bounds. Got a penalty, though. It's going to be holding against Tampa.
Well, they've been guilty of that at least twice today that I know of, and both times on long passes, which takes just a little longer to throw the football than normal ones do. He had him open, just threw the ball out of bounds.
Ricky Bell unofficially has rushed for 53 yards and 15 carries. Not a bad outing for his first game.
Hedberg 8 for 22 for 45 yards. Not a good day for the young quarterback.
Holding against the Bucks. Ball will now be placed at the 16-yard line. It'll be 1st down and 20. Anthony Davis in the lineup. Hedberg drops it off. Short yardage picked up by Ed Williams, who made a nice grab reaching up for that thing.
That ball not thrown particularly well. It was set up as a screen pass. The ball was high, and which actually let the Philadelphia Eagles get over and cut the screen down.
Well, somebody's streak is bound to end this afternoon, and right now it looks like Philadelphia's 9-game opening day losing streak will end. Eagles have never won an opening game here at Veterans Stadium. They were playing back at Franklin Field last time they won an opener. 2nd down, 15. Hedberg got a completion that time. Nice leap by Morris Owens, and that should be very close for a 1st down at the 37-yard line. Most of you with us, be sure and stay on the line, because right after this game, you'll see what many people say is the game of the week in the National Football League, and I would think so. The Dallas Cowboys, Tony Dorsett and all, take it on the Minnesota Vikings, the NFC champions and Super Bowl representatives. It's a good catch here by Owens.
Well, let's look at one of the bright spots so far for Hedberg as he rifles the ball in there. Hedberg does make a good throw, but Owens makes a even more spectacular catch, and it is the 1st down situation for the Buccaneers.
Officials mark it at the 37-yard line. Clock working against Tampa Bay now with 6.5 minutes remaining. Hedberg under a big rush. Flushed out of the pocket, gonna run it, heading for that sideline, and he gets there just in time. Outlaw was cutting across, trying to hit him off at the pass, so to speak.
They like nothing better than to catch a quarterback with that clothesline every now and then. That'll change their mind about running very quickly.
He took it out to the 40-yard line, picked up 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd down, 7. What do you like in that Cowboy-Viking game?
I like the Cowboys.
You saw them against Pittsburgh.
I saw them against Pittsburgh. They look real strong. They look strong defensively. And Staubach's coming back.
Anthony Davis out to the 47-yard line. It'll be close for another 1st down for Tampa Bay. You know, the last time Minnesota lost a home game was against the Cowboys in that playoff game where Staubach hit Pearson on that miraculous pass several seasons ago.
Right, I was there with that one, and he just put the ball up there and made a fantastic catch, and then just kind of trotted into the end zone.
3rd down. Buccaneers need about a yard for the 1st down. There's the book on Randy Hedberg. Anthony Davis trying to pick up the necessary yardage, and I believe he's got it. Ball just short of the 50-yard line. Randy Logan making the stop.
Nothing fancy on that play, Frank. Just a straight-ahead power off the right tackle with putting everyone in front of him and trying to get the crack in the defensive line and go for the first down.
I believe at this rate, the Eagles would almost be content to let Tampa move down the field because the way they're going is going to take them another 5 minutes to score. Got our first final of the afternoon for you. Miami shut out the Buffalo Bills and O.J. Simpson, 13-zip. Our score, 13-3. Eagles leading. Hedberg under pressure from that 3-4, trying to deliver the football to Ed Williams across the middle. And he was being pursued by Bill Berge, number 66.
Had him come across the field. Looked like he was wide open. Whether the ball was too far in front of Williams is one thing. Well, it looked like it just bounced right through his arms.
Tampa Bay.
Make sure of those type of throws.
That's right. Tampa Bay's next start, keep in mind, against Minnesota Saturday night. It'll be their home opener. And the Eagles in Los Angeles against the Rams next Sunday. Hedberg pinned back at the 39-yard line. So that 3-4, the Eagles applying a lot of pressure. And here's a final score. The Redskins have rallied from a 10-0 deficit and have beaten the Giants 17-10. It was Lem Burnham that time, number 67, who penetrated.
Mark Mosley hit a 51-yard field goal in that ball game for the Washington Redskins.
That's the third time that Hedberg has been sacked, according to our unofficial stats, for 39 yards, but he's been harassed into throwing the thing early many times. Good throw that time, but Outlaw is over there. It was intended for number 87, Larry Mucker, a rookie from Arizona State, but there had to be a busted pattern in there somewhere because he was going in the other direction.
Outlaw had the pass all to himself. All he had to do was hold on to it. We have an injured player down on the field.
Let's see if that's Hedberg again. He's taken some pretty good licks this afternoon. I loved his line when he got to Tampa Bay. He said, they've got something here we don't have in North Dakota. He said, trees, people, and sunshine. We'll be back in just a moment.
Europe's most successful new car in history comes to America. Introducing Fiesta, now imported from Germany by Ford. Fiesta. It has power that took it from 0 to 50 in an average of 8.8 seconds. Front disc brakes that brought it from 50 to 0 in an average of 3.3 seconds. And excellent gasoline economy. Fiesta, Europe's most successful new car in history. Test drive one at your authorized Ford dealer.
Cicely Tyson for Color Track by RCA.
My rose is red, my skin is dark brown, and my dress is bright orange. If these colors don't look right to you, you should know about Color Track from RCA. Getting the color right is what Color Track is all about. It actually adjusts the colors and locks them on track.
Before you see the Color Track system grabs it, aligns it, defines it, sharpens it, tones it, and locks the color on track.
RCA is making television better and better.
Got a correction on the score for you. We gave you that Washington-New York game as a final. We've got information now that there's still a couple of minutes left in that game. Redskins do lead the Giants 17-10, but there's still 2 minutes left to play in that game. Fourth down, Hedberg walked off the field under his own power, and Dave Green is in there to punt. Martin Mitchell is deep, so is Marshall. And again, it's to Marshall's side. Great kick. Drove him all the way back to the 8, out to the 15, and the 20-yard line. Hey, Green has been putting up some moonshots.
Fine kick, a fine hang time on that one.
Randy Johnson of the Bucs made the stop. 4 minutes, 9 seconds left to play. 53 yards on that punt by Green. He's going to come out of this averaging close to 50 yards a punt.
I'm sure he hopes that he doesn't have to do it all year, Frank.
Well, you might say the Bucks are 3 points ahead of last year. They were shut out, as we said, their first 2 games last year. In fact, they were shut out a total of 5 times. Got 3 on the scoreboard this afternoon. Sullivan. That was Dewey Selman that caught him at the line of scrimmage. The Giants have just come back and tied the Redskins in the final 2 minutes. So it's tied now with less than 2 minutes to play. And chances are we'll have a final on that before our game is over. That's quite a battle up at Giants Stadium. New York's another team going with rookie quarterbacks, but not really because of injuries. They just haven't been able to find anybody they really like. Got rid of Craig Morton, traded for Steve Ramsey. Didn't like him, and they released him a couple of weeks ago. They're supposed to start Jerry Goldstein today, who was with them last year but was injured most of the year.
I saw him one time in preseason against Pittsburgh, and he looked very, very good, Frank, but it's probably the first time he's played so far this year.
The Eagles call time to get something straightened out, and Jaworski, shaking his head, comes over for a talk with head coach Dick Vermeil. 3:24 left to play in the game, and we'll be back in Philadelphia in 1 minute.
I got enough to worry about. My hairline, my waistline. When it comes to my money, our money,
We let someone else help us do the worrying.
our IDS representative, he worries about planning for our future. And that means not just life insurance, but investments and savings, too.
IDS, not just insurance, not just investments, but a financial plan designed especially for you. When it comes to your money, let us help you do the worrying. IDS, we help people manage money.
At Allegheny Ludlam Industries, we make and use special metals in a lot of ways nobody else does. Like time memory elements for digital clock radios. We make the stainless steel for high-speed trains. At Allegheny Ludlam Industries, we create a lot of different things you live with every day. All the way from this True Temper tennis racket frame to the super alloys used in this 747.
Eagles with the football, 2nd down 9. They have it at their 21-yard line with 3:24 left to play in the game, and they're sitting on a 13-3 lead. Sullivan and Hogan are the setbacks. Tom Sullivan carrying out to the 25-yard line. Counsel Rudolph making the stop. The Eagles have just one timeout left.
Some good run play by Sullivan in the line, digging his feet, trying to get as much yard as he can. You can be sure that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to try to maintain control of the football, eat up the clock, and not let the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get the football again.
3rd down, and the Eagles need 2 for the first down with the ball at their 28-yard line, and now Tampa's going to call time. So again, Jaworski heads over to the sidelines. 13 out of 23 for Ron Jaworski, 136 yards. He's been intercepted a couple of times, and of course Gabriel did get in for that one play and completed the only pass he threw. And Jeb Blunt, the backup quarterback to Hedberg, got in for one play and completed the only pass he threw. Although we may see Blunt in the final couple of minutes, since Hedberg was shaken up just a moment or so ago.
Tampa has to stop the Eagles from getting that first down. Otherwise, I think they probably will not get the football again. The Eagles will continue to keep it on the ground. Of course, the Buccaneers are going to have to use some of the timeouts in order to try to save some time for the offense to get back in. And they're down 13-3 with 2 minutes and 53 seconds left in the football game.
That's been a big disappointment, I'm sure, so far for Tampa Bay. I think coming off that Baltimore win, they felt they had an excellent chance to win this football game.
Well, they were very high for that ball game last week, and I know that it was a good shot in the arm for the Bucs to beat Baltimore. After all, Baltimore was the highest scoring team in their division last year. Burt Jones, one of the best young quarterbacks in the game today, did not have a good night. Both teams played well defensively, and the Buccaneers came out on top.
But keep in mind, that was preseason, and this is for keeps, and it's a whole new ball game. Once the bell rings on opening day. 3rd down, 3 needed for the first down. Jaworski going to try to throw for the first down, and does to Charlie Smith at the 39-yard line. So that keeps the drive going. Jarris White bumps him out of bounds.
That's a fine throw by Jaworski. It's a long throw, a fine catch. Defensive back was just playing too far off of his man, and it's a matter of pitch and catch when you get him that way.
Clock continues to roll as the officials say that the White tackled Smith. He never really went out of bounds. Vince Papali, number 83, is in at a wide receiver, giving Smith a spell. Carmichael split to the left, 1st and 10 on the 39-yard line of the Philadelphia Eagles. This play will run it down to the 2-minute warning as Sullivan cuts back inside to the 45, a pickup of close to 5 on the play. And we get the 2-minute warning to both benches. Leroy Selman making the stop for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Our score, Philadelphia 13, Tampa Bay 3 exactly. 2 minutes left to play.
America the beautiful, she's big and she's free. There's no place like her on this earth, and there'll probably never be. She's been a long time growing, and she's moving right along. Got to keep that beat going, like the rhythm of a song.
We can't wait for tomorrow. Alcoa can't wait.
We gotta save the houses that speak of yesterday. We gotta work the land, my friend, in a new and better way. The people at Alcoa are working every day. We will find the answers as aluminum shows the way.
We can't wait for tomorrow. Alcoa can't wait.
Two minutes left to play in the ball game, and time for us to tell you that our production today was under the supervision of Mr. Bob Rowe, directed by Jim Silman, and some of the other fine folks helping us bring you this Tampa Bay Philadelphia telecast on opening day 1977 of the NFL season. Eagles have a 2nd down. 4 needed for the 1st down. Ball is at their 45. Looking over the shoulder there for a moment at Dewey Selman. Philadelphia just keeping it on the ground. Hand it off to Sullivan. Tell Jaworski's pumped up a little bit right now. He smells that victory. He's kind of a cheerleader type anyway.
He is. He wants to make sure everyone is, the ball's not fumbled. Everybody's going to get up, take their time getting up. He wants to run the clock out, and it's still going, 1:40 left. Tampa has not called a timeout. I guess they more or less resigned themselves that they're going to chalk up another loss.
Well, in defense of the Bucs, you have to say an expansion team coming in with losing 2 veteran quarterbacks, and Barilla and Huff, and now having to rely on a rookie who really didn't expect to play as recent as 2 weeks ago. You'd have to say the odds are stacked against him, despite what they did against Baltimore last week. Quarterback sneak that time. And the officials stopped the clock with 1 minute and 13 seconds left to play.
Gary Huff was practicing this week, Frank. He's one of the number 2 quarterback. He hurt his leg, a ligament, I believe, and that could be ready to come back and start playing in the next 2 weeks.
I understand they got a brace. Dr. Nicholas up in New York, who did the Namath brace and the Bartkowski brace, did one for him. How about that? Giants kicked a field goal in the last minute or so and beat the Redskins.
3 seconds left. They kicked a field goal in New York 20 to Redskins 17. Big win for the New York Giants.
Oh, I would say so. Simple little handoff to Hogan to the 49-yard line. You got to wonder, I wonder about the Redskins this year. If this is the year that they get old all of a sudden. And, of course, one game doesn't make a season, but it's got to hurt you. When you lose an opener to a team like New York, which is not figured to go anywhere.
I've often wondered what would happen if George Allen decided to leave or was fired. What coach would want to take that job with not having any draft choices, maybe to about 1988?
That's true, too. So, clock stopped by Tampa Bay with 33 seconds to go. It'll be 2nd and 9 for the Eagles at the 48-yard line of the Buccaneers.
At Allegheny Ludlam Industries, we're in a very special business because we make and use special metals in a lot of different ways nobody else does. Like that Jacobson mower back there, it's made by one of our companies. And we make an electronic component for digital watches, too. We create a lot of different things you live with every day, all the way from this True Temper golf shaft to the stainless steel skin for this.
5 on the 50-yard line!
Hey, Charlie, it was cold last night. You put in a Prestone antifreeze?
Prestone. Who needs Prestone?
Prestone? You need Prestone.
If your antifreeze is worn out or you don't have enough, you could be in trouble. So put in a fresh fill of Prestone, too, to prevent corrosion and freeze-ups.
Prestone. We need Prestone.
Prestone. You need Prestone.
Frank Lieber along with John Unitas at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia as the Philadelphia Eagles about to wrap up their first victory of 1977. Jaworski simply falling down with the football to protect it.
Gonna have to get him an acting job to do that well.
And again, Tampa Bay calls time, this time to stop it with 26 seconds to go. I've lost track of the Buccaneer timeouts. I think they may have one left. Of course, they couldn't have any more than that. It's maximum. Because they've used 2 here in the last couple of plays. Well, it's been a long time since Philadelphia has tasted victory on opening day. They've lost 9 in a row, dating back to 1967. So it'll be a big win for the Eagles as they prepare to head to Los Angeles next week. And a tough encounter with the Rams, who last we heard were being upset by Atlanta. And you know they're going to be mean if that is the case. Don't forget Dallas, Minnesota coming up on most of these stations. Cowboys and the Vikings from Bloomington. Matchup of 2 Super Bowl contenders. Get a chance to watch Ricky Bell in this one. You'll get a chance to watch Tony Dorsett in the next one, although he's not scheduled to start for Dallas. Well, I think that'll do it. That will do it. No more timeouts left for the Bucs in the final 15 seconds. Rolling away, and Tampa Bay is saddled with its 15th consecutive NFL regular season loss. And the Philadelphia fans of 61,000 will go away happy for the first time on opening day in 9 years. Final score, the Philadelphia Eagles 13, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 3. So for Johnny Unitas, this is Frank Lieber saying so long from the Veterans Memorial Stadium in Philadelphia. Stay tuned as the NFL Today continues after this word from your local station.
A woman doctor is assaulted by her patient, but she won't call in the police. That's what baffles Rafferty. Patrick McGowan stars tomorrow at 10, 9 Central and Mountain on CBS.